Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song. In the old neighborhood, as the clock strikes one, the memory lives just as it stood.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. Please make sure you hit the like if you haven't already done so and share the videos. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going around Africa. Crisis in Mozambique over elections results, and the military leader of Niger exposes Nigeria, via their leader, as the puppet of France. And I'm sure many of you're going to be like, duh, Afridamus, you've already said that here on the channel. But it's not like it's a definitive thing. Because the last time we spoke about Tinubu, do you guys remember? That was when the report that I spoke about here on the channel, where he was, in fact, it was confirmed in this report that he was a CIA asset. And of course, per usual, some of his supporters, and you can fault them. They tried to go onto his defense to protect him. But you see, all logical people are saying, no, something doesn't smell good. Why does France, who wants to keep Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, those other, Senegal, Ivory Coast, those countries, why do they want to keep them on the leash? Ivory Coast, they don't have to try. They already have it on the silver platter. But Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso are the ones rebelling. They want their own sovereignty. So as you know, when it comes to, Niger, they had the coup. I think it's been over a year now. So I'm going to bring that in a little bit and we would go deep into it. Now let's talk about Mozambique. Some of you probably heard of the name before, but you probably don't know where it's located. Well, Mozambique is a Southern African country. So it's part of SADC, which is like the equivalent of ECOWAS, like we have in West Africa. And SADC is 16 countries, just like West Africa. Isn't that weird how They divided it equally. But anyways, in Mozambique, they had an elections there back in October. So the ruling party, the Frelimo party, you know, that is the party that brought them, their independence, the liberation. So they've been in power ever since, you see. So this is why, like, when people hear about their black so-called revolutionaries, we are going to learn a whole lot here, because this also would show you, if blacks were in charge of America, what it would look like. Because you see, in Mozambique, the issue is they have an opposition party who is not accepting the elections results. So he's saying that the elections are rigged. I mean, who's never heard of that? Right? So, like, in America, last time in 2020, there were many people who believed that the elections were rigged. But here in America, what they do is they're like, hey, you got to follow the tradition, blah, 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 and they can just shut you down, on the internet, which is what happened. They didn't allow no challenge. And then what did they do? They just, this is not me saying this, but they were like, oh, like, so in America, they said you got freedom, right? Freedom of speech whatsoever. So these people, they went out there on January 6th, 2020. They're like, we want our voices heard. And then little did they know, they had undercover FBI agents mixed in with them. Some people were like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. But this is how this usually happens. So in Mozambique, the same thing is happening. So the opposition is saying that the elections were rigged, despite not being able to show any tangible proof, right? But this is spiraled out of total chaos, it went out of control. You see, like, so the unfortunate thing is, in SADC, the chairman, which is like, how Tinubu is the chairman in ECOWAS. So in SADC in South Africa, Mnangagwa, the leader of Zimbabwe, he he's the chairman. So clearly, if you understand how he came to power, and even the last time there was shenanigans about him as well, he crushed his opponents. So you can only guess what his ruling is gonna be, right? So how can he possibly look in the mirror and be like, oh yeah, this opposition got a point? He's not gonna do that, because then they would have to now be like, come on, Manangagwa, your elections, let's look at it. Even though those of us that know and pay attention and know about Africa, you know that it was rigged. But how can you say it? So now you put the person who rigged his own elections in his country in charge of the region. So you can guess what that would look like. So in the situation in Mozambique, can you guys believe it? As we speak right now, they said there were over 6,000 prisoners that broke out of prison. This is including many like terrorists, Islamic terrorists. I mean, guys, it's crazy how, like, they are turning Africa into the Middle East. Do you guys remember all this terrorist talk that you used to hear on the news? They used to paint the Middle Easterners, the Islamists, as the terrorists. So now you look at Mozambique is majority Christian country. Why do they have so-called Islamic jihadists there? And they have Islamic jihadists in northern Nigeria. Now they have them in the Sahel, in parts of Burkina Faso, Mali. I mean, like, something is not right. But long story short, they have, as they're counting, they said 6,000 escaped. That's right, Abiola. So let me show you a news clip here. Let me show you the news clip that would give us a brief coverage of what is happening. And like, this is nothing new. We've all heard of elections disputes in various African countries. And this democracy thing is new to Africans. And many places are now beginning to get it, but to try to remove the incumbent in Africa, it's almost like impossible. Almost impossible. So the opposition now, what is he doing? He's doing the Black Lives Matter thing. He wants everything burnt down. That's right. So it's like the Bloods versus the Crips. So the leader of Frelimo, the ruling party, is El Chapo's black cousin. I know. Some of you are going to be like, man, stop joking. No, really. El Chapo, the Mexican drug dealer, his black cousin. If you don't believe me, wait, you will see it officially written. His last name is Chapo. Okay, let me do my fair use here. Here we go.
In Africa, Mozambique has been in the headlines. It's a country in the southeast. There was a massive prison break in the capital, Maputo. It took place on Christmas Day. More than 1,500 inmates escaped. Most of them are still on the loose. Let's show you some footage from the prison break. You can see the prisoners gathering in the open. Then they started running towards the same direction. A prison wall was knocked down and hundreds managed to escape. It wasn't a simple getaway, though. At least 33 people died during the prison riot and 15 others were injured. The riot and subsequent prison break took place at a high-security facility. It holds dangerous criminals and terrorists from Mozambique's restive north. Mozambique's police chief gave a grim update on the situation.
This confrontation with the inmates in the vicinity of the central prison resulted in 33 dead and 15 wounded. In subsequent search operations for the inmates, we managed to recapture 150 inmates who are currently in several police stations. What we expect after the escape of 1,534 inmates who committed major...
So, mind you, this is, 4 days prior. And now, as we speak, it's up to 6,000. So, the countries around there, if South Africa they have closed their border, now South Africa don't feel safe because a lot of these inmates are terrorists. They are because Mozambique have been fighting Islamists. So who do you think is behind this war? Why would this Islamist target Mozambique? That is my question to you.
Major crimes in the country is that in the next 40 or 48 hours, there will be a dizzying increase in crime in Maputo. Increase of all types of crimes because they are specialists in all types of crimes. There will be an increase in robberies, assaults, rape of women, car theft, armed robberies, even kidnappings.
90% of the inmates were still on the loose as of last night. Mozambique is preparing for a spike in crime, as you just heard him say, and possibly terror. At least 30 terrorists were among the people who escaped. So how did this happen? How did the wall at a high-security prison get knocked down? There are two versions of the story. Mozambique's justice minister says the riot started inside the prison and the prisoners then managed to escape. But the police commander has a different outlook.
So when you look at it, the opposition person, especially his stance right now, it seems like this is all planned out. Okay? So now they're giving different stories. They are taking us through the rabbit hole, right? So let's follow and hear this story, how this happened. Okay? I mean, let's just take their word at it. All we know is we see a bunch of inmates out there and the place is on fire. So here we go.
The circumstances that occurred during the attack at around 1 p.m. Today, a group of subversive demonstrators approached the vicinity of the prison, making noise with their protests, demanding to release the prisoners serving their sentences there. They took
So, I mean, the police is saying that pretty much it's the rioters. So it's sort of like if Black Lives Matter, you know how they were going around burning places down. If they had gone and succeeded in kicking some prison open, because you see, we already knew like what their intentions were. They said the people that were locked up, they were wrongfully locked in the prison, so they have a reason to let them out. So the opposition, I mean, is it possible they did this to attack the jail, knowing how, the type of inmates that are there, so that chaos can ensue? Or maybe the government themselves, this could be a false flag where they orchestrate all this so that they can implement emergency, like they can implement like an emergency law, martial law, so that the election dispute would be shut down. Governments do that. So here we go.
them out of the cells or out of that prison about 1,534 inmates. The protesters took them out and left with them.
He says protesters broke the prisoners out. This is a serious allegation, especially considering the situation in Mozambique. The country has been in turmoil for weeks, ever since the general election on October 9th. Mozambique's ruling Frelimo party won the election, but the opposition says the election was rigged. The party that came second says that they are the real winners. They say that their candidate.
So this is 3 political parties contesting this. But the crazy thing is the one that is third, he's not even close to the people he's accusing of rigging the election. So, he's going all out. Like, who is behind this? Every few years we get this kind of, leadership in that southern region of Africa. Do you guys remember the guy that used to challenge Mugabe in Zimbabwe? This used to happen in Zimbabwe also quite a bit. So, nothing new here. It's just that we thought things were stable all over Africa in that region, but everyone thought, oh man, look at it, the Sahel, but things are happening in the southern edge of Africa as well. They have issues over there.
Venanzio Mondlane should be the next president. His supporters have been protesting against the election results, but to no avail. The country's top court confirmed Frelimo's victory on Monday. The party has governed Mozambique since it became independent in 1975. That's 49 years and counting. And with the latest win, they have extended their rule. The top court's nod came on Monday, and it led to a fresh round of protests. At least 21 people have died over this week. The total death toll since the election is around 150. There has been widespread violence and looting and regular border closures as well.
So the court declared that, the ruling party, they won. But of course, you're dealing with Negroes. They're like, nah, it's rigged. We don't respect what the court says. So now we got to set our own city on fire. That's what you're seeing.
The opposition candidate, Monlan, has fled Mozambique, but he's still calling for more protests.
Of course, they always flee. The opposition, the ones that call for all this, they always flee. And then they do it via internet. So those of you that said, oh, the internet is not even real people, are you seeing this? This man is sending his message through the internet. He himself, he fled, but he calls it self-imposed exile. Look, I'm not taking sides here, but I'm just pointing out, what I'm seeing here. He calls it self-imposed exile. So here we go.
He says the latest violence is a plot by the ruling party to declare an emergency.
The same police who were murdering before are almost encouraging.
There he is. I think he has a FBA barber. He gave him that FBA hairline. But I just I just noticed that. But that's him right here, the opposition guy.
Urging people to attack, to steal. It's more than clear that this vandalism has to do with a plan that was already made, that wasn't successful before, which was to declare a state of emergency, which didn't work, and now they're doing it again.
You have Mozambique's protesters on one side and the government on the other. Both accuse each other of fomenting the violence. Mozambique has been left crippled by the unrest, and now it has to deal with criminals on the loose as well. We'll keep tracking.
We begin with the latest on Mozambique. The situation in the southern African nation remains tense. Protests in the country over the disputed election.
Oh, sorry. So guys, I just gave you a brief story about the inmates fleeing. So this is the political aspect of it. Like what the people are doing on the streets.
Election results have escalated. At least 21 people, including 2 police officers, have been killed in the past 24 hours. The government said that a total 236 acts of serious violence were reported across the country. Those acts had left at least 25 people wounded, including 13 police officers. It further said groups of armed men using bladed weapons and firearms had also carried out attacks against police stations and other public infrastructure.
Black on black crime, black on black protests. I told you guys, it's not about race. You see what's happening in all black country. So here we go.
Yesterday, here in the Benfica area, 2 young people were shot to death. Police without uniform came in a BT-50 car and started to shoot. Then they went to the localities killing people anyway.
Protests and violence erupted across Mozambique again after the Constitutional Council confirmed the ruling Frelimo Party candidate Daniel Chapo as the winner.
You guys see it? El Chapo's black cousin, Daniel Chapo.
Of the disputed elections in October. The total number
And are you shocked to see that El Chapo's black cousin, Daniel Chapo, is one of the people who is the candidate, and now there's violence, there's fire everywhere? Are you shocked? Here we go.
Deaths in post-poll violence in Mozambique has crossed 150. Since the protests began this week, shops, banks, supermarkets and petrol stations were ransacked in several parts of the country, with windows being smashed and incidents of looting. Some vehicles and shops were even set on fire. Several main roads were also blocked by barricades and burning tires. Christmas Eve, which is usually a busy time in capital Maputo, also saw shops and small neighborhood grocery stores being closed, making bread unavailable to local residents. Many local residents...
And this is during Christmas. So while people were waiting for Santa, this time Santa brought fire for them. That's what you're seeing in Mozambique.
Also chose to stay at home to avoid getting caught up in the unrest. Meanwhile, opposition Podemos party candidate Venancio Mondlane, who has contended the poll results, declared that he would install himself as president on January 15th.
So clearly, the opposition leader, he is fanning the flames. He is saying, man, F what the Supreme Court says. He is saying that he is going to install himself. Oh yes, yeah, Morgan Shangarai used to be the opposition leader in Zimbabwe. So this guy is saying, yo, guess what? We won, and I'm going to declare myself president on January 15th, which is when they swear in their president. But he is currently out of the country. I mean, some of you who like to mock people would accuse him of fleeing, saying he fled, but he is saying, he calls it self-imposed exile. That's right, self-imposed exile. That's what he calls it. But here we go.
The day that Chapo is due to be sworn in. He also said the country was still going to celebrate Christmas this year, despite the killings.
Yes, we're going to have Christmas. We've already said that our Christmas is Mozambique. It's going to be on the streets.
50-year-old Mondlane, who has been in exile since October, also called for demonstrations to continue on the streets, despite the killings.
The demonstrations must continue because it has been proven that this regime is an illegitimate, illegal, terrorist regime that is doing everything in its power to massacre its own people.
Now, Mozambique has been on the edge ever since the results of the October 9 elections extended the Frelimo party's 49-year rule in the country. The Election Commission had declared Frelimo party's Daniel Chapo as winner with nearly 71% of the votes. On Monday, the Constitutional Council confirmed poll results but revised Daniel Chapo's winning share to only 65% of votes. Venancio Mondlane, on the other hand, received an upward revision of 24.2% of the vote.
So there's huge difference here. Daniel Chapo, has like over 65% of the votes. This guy got, they updated it to 24.2%. That's not even close. So what is he talking about here? But, maybe we don't know. Maybe there's something hidden that we're not seeing. But if this is what we're going by, those numbers are not even close. So I don't know what he is contesting. But that's not for us to say. We don't know. Let's just watch.
He had only won 20% of the votes when the results were declared initially.
She means votes. I think in the accent they can't pronounce the V. So when she says votes, does it mean votes? Votes. Just in case, for some of you that are asking, what is she saying? It's votes, not votes.
But Mondlane has refused to accept the results, calling them fraud and accusing the Frelimo party of vote rigging. The Podemos party leader claims to be the winner of the October elections and has called for protest and uprising several times through social media.
Did you guys hear this? So that's why when some of these silly people, when they come here and try to say, oh, this is not even real people. Oh, the people that talk on the internet is not real. Do you guys hear? He's on social media calling on to the people to go out there in the streets and burn down the city.
In Mozambique, the Constitutional Council is legal, but this legality of legalizing fraud, of legalizing the humiliation of one's own people. My friends, here it is, the time has come.
Now, since the beginning of protests in late October, several cities, mines, ports, and even borders have also been affected by the ongoing protests. The unrest has also disrupted some major business operations, leading to economic losses for the southern African nation. And all of this has come at a time when the country has been battling with Cyclone Chido that has caused severe destruction and hunger among the people. So with the opposition calling for more protests.
So see, now the South Africans, they don't have to worry about Nigerians. Now they are going to get new residents from Mozambique. Now they are going to get new residents. But now South Africa also have to worry about, the 6,000 inmates that are out there. I mean, because South Africa's got its own problems, it's got its own crime issues. So getting new criminals to come and join in would definitely cause issues. I mean, all of this seems like doesn't this seem like a movie? Like there's like an evil doctor in the back orchestrating all this. I mean, all of this seems so coordinated. And you got a guy who is challenging an election, but the numbers they are showing, it's not even close. And he's out there somewhere, who knows? But he is giving orders through social media, telling his supporters that he is in fact going to install himself as president. Like, who is backing this guy? Because he is calling for violence. So if he is in any of these Southern African countries and they truly want peace, then they would have to, bring these two to the table, or maybe, sort of arrest this guy. I mean, something, but here we go.
In the country, despite the killings, question is Mozambique heading into a greater political crisis and instability? Or is there still some hope for the two opposing sides to come to a consensus to end the crisis? Now, to discuss more on this, we have with us international affairs expert Musa Omdunge, who is joining us live from Dundee, United Kingdom.
So let's hear what the Mozambican himself gonna say about his country. This is Musa something.
So Omdunge, welcome to First Post.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mr. Omdunge, the opposition has repeatedly been calling for an uprising call. Could this be further deteriorate the situation in Mozambique and lead to more violence?
Certainly, it looks like that is where it is going. And this is particularly because when you look at the posture of the opposition parties, it seems like they are all coalescing around a position that tries to legitimize these elections and the results. And particularly given that now Renamo itself, which has been the traditional opposition of Frelimo, has itself also stated that it will release its own set of results, contesting the official ones.
So you see, I noticed that like black people, black Africans only can come together when they are going against white people. Because if you look at it during their war for independence, Samori Machel, when they fought the Portuguese, they were able to defeat the Portuguese because all of them came together. But when it comes to black on black, do you see it's even way more oppressive and divisive. I mean, look at how they are going at each other. They're going at each other real hard.
Means that you are likely to see here three poles of power and contestation. And this will then make the situation perhaps more fluid than we have seen it be currently and traditionally in the history of Mozambique since its decolonization in 1975. So certainly it seems like all roads lead to further sort of violence, particularly given sort of the inaction of regional bodies such as SADC as well as the African Union that don't seem to have a clear position on this matter.
Of course, they're not going to have a clear position because, the African Union is a puppet organization. I think we've even had that conversation here prior. So, guys, are we seeing a pattern here? Like, are these African nations, like, instead of going straight at them, and they just use their puppets, to create violence? Because if there is chaos, it's easier to control the people there. So basically they're like, okay, once the violence erupts, like this, like in Mozambique's case, they are running to SADC, and SADC is not even sure about their position. Unlike ECOWAS, Tinubu, he gave a decision they were going to invade, but that changed. Like out in the open, it looks like it changed. But once I get to that story, you will see, maybe, just maybe, secretly things are happening behind the scenes. So when you look at Mozambique's situation, Islamists popped up out of nowhere in 2017. So it looks like, there is a group that is taking down countries, one after another. They are transporting their own armies, like they would make it seem like a chaotic situation. Because why would Islamists be in Mozambique, a majority Christian country? Are these the same group of fighters they had in Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, and now they're in the Sahel, in northern Nigeria, Somalia? I mean, they seem to be the same groups of people, and they are usually foreign. So it is safe to say these quote unquote Islamists are the foot soldiers for a bigger entity that have interest in these territories. Maybe that's what we are seeing. But here we go.
And in many ways, that's what make the road to peace be more difficult.
Right. In your view, what steps should both the opposition and the government take to resolve this crisis peacefully?
Well, look, some have touted on the South African solution of a possible government of national unity. In many ways, the opposition have started.
South Africans always talking about government unity. It. I mean, I would say maybe in South Africa, in that region, they are one of the few countries that probably have a free and fair elections. I'm not saying there won't be shenanigans, but I would think their election is straightforward, and they can easily, form a government with no problem, because they have white people over there, right, to intercede, to make sure there is none of that, problems like this, like how these people are behaving. So South Africa is like, oh, why don't you all just come together, form a unity government? It's not gonna work, South Africa. Remember, you tried that with Morgan Changarai and Mugabe. You've seen how that turned out. This is not gonna go well, because now this opposition, look at all the destruction that you are seeing. You don't think now the people who are victims of this, even after all this is done and gone, they are going to hold that grudge against this opposition and his supporters, because they're going to feel like they did this to them. So this would be a tough one. They have to work miracles to, to bring this, to a peaceful solution. But here we go.
To do that, but their problem is that they are creating a satellite government that opposes the one that is officially in power. And what we ought to see now is the intervention of regional bodies such as SADC, particularly countries like South Africa, that has a very key role, not only in terms of the economic development, via trade and investment in terms of its relationship with Mozambique. But of course, because South Africa is a feeder country whereby most Mozambican experts have gone on to live, whether legally or illegally. And so South Africa has a vested interest in finding a peaceful resolution. But one of the things long term that needs to happen here is we are yet to see sort of a standards being developed, continental standards, or any.
Yeah, you guys heard it. So yeah, South Africa got to step up its game because it's in South Africa's interest to make sure, this is secure. That's what is happening in Mozambique, and hopefully, things go well over there. So now let's move on to, Nigeria, to West Africa. And lately, Nigeria has been, getting the flack, being accused of being sellouts. And Nigeria, some of Nigerians are like, no, we are not sellouts. But or sometimes they would say, oh, it's just internet trolls that are saying it. Well, let's find out what the leader of Niger is calling Tinubu, the president of Nigeria. What Nigeria is doing behind the scene. Is Nigeria, guys, is Nigeria doing this behind the scene?
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man, what you gonna do? Look out, boys, it's coming through. Yeah, man, yeah, man. Boy, he got educated feet.
Nigeria is being accused of having educated feet. Okay? And of course, some of the Nigerians are gonna cry. They're gonna say, no, that's not true. But let's look at this news clip here and analyze, because I have spoke about some of these things here, and we've said, okay, what is in it for Nigeria to do the bidding of the French? Now that there's question mark if Tinubu is a CIA asset. If he's not one, he's suddenly acting like one. So let's hear from the leader of Niger. Maybe he's not just talking from an internet position. He is speaking about facts from the intelligence he is getting. So here we go.
Shifting focus to West Africa now, where a rift between neighbors Niger and Nigeria is widening. In the latest, the junta-ruled Niger has accused Nigeria of colluding with foreign powers to destabilize its neighbor. Niger's junta has claimed that Nigeria is acting as a base for destabilizing actions and that Abuja was involved in a recent pipeline vandalism that Niamey suffered. Niger also...
So, you guys hear this? So, apparently Nigeria was involved in bombing Niger's, pipeline, gas pipeline. You guys remember I spoke about a pipeline in my previous show when I spoke about Nigeria's possible involvement in helping France. So they are going to be mentioning that pipeline here. Here we go.
Summoned the Nigerian envoy over the latest allegations. Earlier this month, Niger-Benin oil pipeline was attacked in Niger's Dosso region. Niger had claimed that forces based in Nigeria had assisted the Lukarwara terrorist group that attacked the pipeline. Responding to Niger's charge, Nigeria refuted its involvement in the pipeline attack. Abuja said that the attackers were neither backed nor assisted by Nigerian authorities.
Then who did it? Who did it? Is it Ghana? Is it Burkina Faso? Are you guys seeing this? Of course, Nigeria is going to deny it, but Niger is not buying it. Here we go.
Niger also accused its former colonial ruler France of complicity with Nigeria and said that its neighbor had offered refuge to some French officials. To this, the Nigerian government said that there were no French troops in the northern part of its territory. Its foreign ministry said that the allegations were unfounded and should be disregarded. Ties between these two West African nations.
That's CIA talk. Do you guys see this? They're like, oh, it is not true. Just disregard that information. It's not true. This is what Nigeria is saying. Just disregard. I mean, like, are you guys serious right now? That doesn't sound like a very solid answer. So the story is slowly coming together. And I would give you the Nigerian response as well, so that people don't think, Nigeria is just being accused. And now I'm saying a lot of terrorists in northern Nigeria are from Niger. Here we go. This fake news of freedom, stop spreading fake news. Oh, please. You can call in when I drop the link.
Neighbors have been strained since a 2023 military coup in Niger ousted the president Mohamed Bazoum. The Western pro-West regional organization, the ECOWAS, promptly imposed sanctions on Niger.
You see, they are giving us the timeline. ECOWAS, led by Nigeria, they were happy. In fact, they were running so fast. Some of the people were like stumbling, to get to the table to sign that paper to put sanction on Niger. It's not like Macron called. Oh yes, it was ça va bien. Mr. Tinubu, can you shut off light from those niggas? Oh, I mean the Niger on the other side, Niger. I'm not saying that phone call happened, but can't you picture that? And Tinubu is like, don't worry, Macron, we got this. And then they met at the table. You see Tinubu right here, signing the document. And I don't want people to come here and like accuse me of making up stuff. You see the tape. We all see it. Like the white ladies over here snitching on Nigeria. I mean, it's gonna be hard for Nigeria to escape this one. So here we go.
Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, who is the current chairman of the ECOWAS bloc, briefly considered.
Guys, get the likes up. Please get the likes up.
A military intervention to restore the ousted President Bazoum, further stoking tensions between the two countries. It also led to Niger's withdrawal from the Economic Community of the West African States, or ECOWAS. Niger, along with neighboring junta-ruled states of Burkina Faso and Mali, also quit the ECOWAS, set up the Alliance of Sahel States. In February of 2024, ECOWAS lifted sanctions that it had imposed on Niger, but that did little to sway the country back into ECOWAS. Niamey also reiterated its embargo in flights from Nigeria, stating that no planes from Nigeria would be permitted to land in Niger.
So you see, Niger also, returned the favor. So no flight from Nigeria or to Nigeria would land in their country. So think about it. Do you think the leader of Niger would just accuse Bola Tinubu and Nigeria just like that? What would he, gain from it? So here we go.
Later, in August this year, ties between Niger and Nigeria showed signs of improvement as the two sides resumed security cooperation that had been on hold since the coup. However, the latest blame game between the two West African neighbors has once again strained their ties.
All right, you guys heard that. You guys heard it. So, of course, This right here rattled the Nigerian media. Okay, exactly, African Queen. She said, "Where there is smoke, there is fire." So, well, let's listen to. Speaking of fire and smoke, let's hear from the Nigerian side. So that it would be fair and balanced. Let's hear from the Nigerian side here.
The TVC News at 10. The federal government of Nigeria has dismissed allegations made in a viral video by the military leader of Niger Republic, General Abdurrahmane Chiani, claiming non-existent collusion between Nigeria and France to destabilize his country. In a statement by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, he said these claims exist so.
Do you guys think Niger is just accusing Nigeria, and what Bola Tinubu, the statement here saying none of this exists? Do you guys think this accusation is fake? Or Niger is just being emotional? So I want to hear what you guys gotta say. Put it in the comment section.
Solely in the realm of imagination, as Nigeria has never engaged in any overt or covert alliance with France or any other country to sponsor terrorist attacks or destabilize the Niger Republic in the wake of the undemocratic change in the leadership of that country. The minister says President Bola Tinubu, as chairman of ECOWAS, has demonstrated exemplary leadership, keeping the doors of the sub-regional body open to re-engage Niger Republic despite the political situation in the country. He said Nigeria remains committed to fostering peace, harmony, and historic diplomatic ties with Niger. Ms. Idris also said Nigeria's armed forces, in collaboration with partners in the multinational Joint Task Force, are succeeding in.
So clearly, of course, like Nigerian government is going to say everything they say here. I mean, coming from Tinubu, right? He's going to say all that. He's going to deny it. He's going to try to make us believe Niger, they just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like they are crazy. He's just imagining things. So, but let's hear more.
Curbing terrorism within the region. He said President Chiani's allegations are not only unfounded, but a dangerous attempt to divert attention from his administration's shortcomings. A regional advocacy lead, West Africa Democracy Solidarity.
Tinubu just pulled what some of these Nigerians like to pull on people on the internet. Tinubu, what he wanted to say was Chiani is jealous of them. He's like, oh yeah, he's just trying to, deflect so that people don't see how poor they are. Trying to accuse us, Nigeria. Because we're over here flying in private jets. We got Bentleys. We're living good. They're over there. They barely got electricity. Yeah, Tinubu, because you shut off their electricity. like, so you're going to accuse the man and his people for not having electricity. Yeah, because you shut off their electricity. Have you, come on. Yeah, it's like literally, like, you're the one, like you put the guy in the dark, and then when the guy complains and accuses you of it, oh, man, come on. You're just jealous because you're in the dark. Yeah, because you shut off my light. Hello? Yeah, that's what Nigeria is doing. So here we go.
Solidarity Network, Omowi Aigbe joins me on the news at 10 for more updates. Good to have you join us, Mr. Aigbe. These allegations coming from Niger Republic, how weighty are they, and should they even be coming at all?
They are weighty because you won't blame the Niger Republic commentaries and accusations. Everyone who saw what happened.
So this is a Nigerian giving his take. So he's letting us know, no, Niger got a point. So here we go.
When President Tinubu visited during the state visit in France, was so clear and very elaborate in the way and manner the French country, welcome Mr. President to their country, and with that great honor. That will necessarily put a threat on the table of those who think that a tie between President Tinubu and President Emmanuel Macron will have effect in Niger Republic. Not just Niger Republic, across the Sahelian state, that's Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso.
Are you guys hearing this? So, you guys remember when I showed you guys the video here where he's talking about that when Tinubu was invited to France and they laid out the red carpet? Did you see how Tinubu was smiling and laughing? Like every time you see Tinubu's other photos with the other, ECOWAS members, he looks sleepy or he don't want to be there. But with Macron, he was laughing. He was showing all 32 teeth. So we all noticed. And then General Chiani, so you see, Tinubu thinks Chiani did not watch that tape. Everyone saw it. He was in Paris, smiling, eating all that French food. So who's got beef with Niger? Who's got interest in Niger and Burkina Faso? And Mali? Who? Macron. So why is Macron inviting Tinubu and laying out the red carpet? I mean, for a second there, I thought he was gonna welcome him, like coming to America, the King of Zamunda, throwing flowers. But Tinubu got better than that. The welcoming was off the chain. So we want to know, Mr. Tinubu, what kind of friendship do you have with Macron? You guys are so tight to a point. He just couldn't help himself. He had to throw you that, elaborate welcoming party. What did you guys discuss? Well, you're not going to tell us, but Gianni knows. And Gianni made sure he let us all know. So here we go.
What is clear is that everyone knows, which is not really a covert thing, as the Minister of Information said. It is not covert. It's really open that President Tinubu does have a very strong tie with President Macron and, of course, France. When Mr. President took over power in 2023, the first place he visited was France. I mean, that was on a personal note, until recently, earlier last month or thereabout, where there was a former state visit. There have been previous visits. If you also recall, one of the accusations that France had.
Sorry, man, I gotta let this Nigerian keep cooking. Do you guys see? He is laying out all the clues here. The link is in the chat, guys. Hit the link. Come join the conversation.
During the time ECOWAS wanted to lay like some kind of military intervention in Niger, it was also attributed that Nigeria's strong tie with France is the reason for all of those. And you don't have to blame.
You guys see, that's him and Nana Akufo hugging each other. Here we go.
Niger. It is just a tie between Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and France, of course, France President Emmanuel Macron.
Well, Mr. Aigbe, talking about these ties, Nigeria is an Anglophone country. And of course, we know France is a Francophone. So where does this tie come in?
This is international relation and all of that. So it's like asking that when President Muhammadu Buhari was in power.
So good question. Nigeria is an Anglophone, meaning English-speaking country. They were the British. What is he doing with the French? What is now Nigeria? What is their tie with France like this? I mean, we should say Tinubu. Is Nigeria tap dancing? Well, we will find out. Gentlemen, I see you there. Just hang tight. I will bring you in the conversation.
All of the support that President Muhammadu Buhari gave to Niger including the SUV vehicle that is gifted to that country during President Bazoum. So one was to ask, why are you giving Niger such gift, even though people argue that Niger does have a historical tie with Nigeria. But historical tie does not amount to amount of money you spend on your neighboring country. That tie is really historic. I mean, it's more of diplomacy. Any country that wants to have ties with you and is ready to play along with your international politics or foreign policy, you want to go along with that country. For instance, what's the tie between Niger Republic and Russia? What's the tie between Niger and China? I mean, it's all international politics. What's the tie between Nigeria and Niger? What's the tie between Nigeria and other?
So the Nigerian man here is saying, hey, it's about where your interest is. So he's justifying their connection, their tie with France, saying, hey, what tie does Niger have with Russia then, if it's not political?
Non-Anglophone countries. It's like any country you feel can come into, can support your country in terms of economy, political, and otherwise, you want to build ties. But I think the relationship between Nigeria and France, back to the time when the current president of France used to live in Lagos and used to visit Fela's shrine, and he made that comment very, very pronouncedly that he's more like a Niger boy. I mean, so he's more like a Nigerian because he lived in Nigeria for a while, visited Fela's shrine for a number of.
See, the excuse he's giving is very dangerous. So he's more like a Nigerian boy. Now Macron is a Nigerian. So then it makes, and he made it known that he wants to invade Niger. So now Macron is invited to the Egusi soup party. He is welcome to the cookout. That's what he is telling y'all, those of you that don't understand it. So, I mean, yeah, they're like, yeah, Macron used to live in Nigeria, so that's the connection. So here we go.
In about period, and it's tied to, and apparently, the President Tinubu coming on board, they may have had a historical relationship, which we don't know officially, but I think that what is important, any country that aligns with your foreign policy, it is easy to align with that country's policy.
All right. And the federal government has stated emphatically that these allegations coming from Niger Republic are baseless and that Nigeria remains committed to fostering regional stability. So how do we now drive home the point such that Nigeria's relations with France are not being misconstrued by these countries as Nigeria, standing in the wheel of their progress?
I also don't think that Nigeria needs to respond to all of those allegations if Nigeria is truly free. What Niger Republic may be doing may be what they call the mind game. Understanding that the recent visit to President Macron will send the wrong signal to them. So what they are trying to do now is to try to engage in some form of information disorder in terms of disinformation, to try to push Nigeria to the corner that we understand what you want to do. In case Nigeria truly want to do it, Nigeria may want to stop pedal.
So this guy, he's minimizing it. And the other Nigerian channels, I've seen some of their analysis, same position. They, pretty much they're giving Niger the middle finger. Nigeria saying, hey, we don't give a damn. We're going to do whatever we want. Okay? So they're saying these people are, creating misinformation. So, that's why I said none of these organizations, when people talk about the blackness, the Africanness, that's not what you are hearing here. It's about interest. This is what I keep telling people. Nigeria is making it clear, like, hey, Niger, hey, F you. We don't give a damn. Macron, as far as we're concerned, he is Nigerian. You can't do nothing about that. He grew up there. He speaks Yoruba, Igbo, all of our languages. This is what they're telling you. So here we go.
But if Nigeria is not truly intending to do it, there's no need defending. You have already made those commentary very loud and clear when the first allegations came from the foreign minister of Niger until the recent head of state commentary. You don't need to make commentary. I mean, you already stated that Nigeria is not going to do it. Nigeria is not giving France any base, any military base. I think it's just to fact check it to say, well, as of this moment, France does not have a military base in Nigeria. The military base that was in Agadez in Niger is not in Nigeria. Make that clear so that you can check or dismantle what this foreign information manipulation and all of it disorder, rather than always responding to every commentaries from Niger.
I hear you, Mr. Ibe. I hear you. And do you consider that a threat to regional integration in in Africa?
What is regional integration? The Sahelian state has confirmed that they are leaving. ECOWAS, it's because Nigeria is head of ECOWAS. Otherwise, there is no mutual relationship. The ideal thing that has happened is because President Tinubu.
So what he's saying, look, hey, apart from about ECOWAS, there's no mutual relationship with those countries anyways. Man, you see, so now it's making sense why Nigeria's position is where they are not looking at these other countries like, we all African. No, Nigeria is looking at it like, hey, we don't even have any mutual interest with each other. So you can go your way. We're going with the French, with the Niger boy.
His chair and his visited France recently.
That's a Tinubu channel.
Nigeria continue to put its hand
that TV is Tinubu channel.
Including in Liberia, in Syria alone, in fact, far away in South Africa. Nigeria continue to lead the African continent of coexistence, of oneness, of an African unity. But to see a military regime who is afraid of Nigeria, and I repeat,
he's a hungry man.
Afraid of Nigeria, because
they paid him. This is how propaganda works.
They are playing the mind game, and I don't think Nigeria needs to respond to every bit of information.
We're not afraid of Nigeria, brother.
All right.
We're not afraid of Nigeria. Make it clear.
Let me bring in the panel. Welcome, James and Ola.
You see that guy? That is Tinubu channel. That is Tinubu propaganda channel. You understand me? That brother idiot, that bastard, on that to it's a political, it's Tinubu.
But
they brought it because it's been selected.
Ola, what do you make of because if you look at it, General Chiani, like I watched this video, he was talking in Hausa, right?
You couldn't translate. You didn't get to translate the information.
Yeah.
I heard what he said. The translation.
Okay. We know what it was. Look, Tinubu have bank account and house in France. Is playing for his own interest, not Nigeria interest.
But they blew up these people's pipeline.
Yeah, you see, people that blow up that pipeline, I don't think it's Nigerians, but it's what is going on, right? That invasion that Tinubu was very happy to do. You see, the man they took, the other man they overthrew is Obuari main man. Obuari was preparing his retirement home in Niger. That's where he was spending a lot of money there. Yes, but you see, when you live with a country,
so Chiani came and ruined everything.
Yes, and Obuari staged Tinubu in power. These people know this. Look, the man in power in Niger is that man. These people know Tinubu didn't win that election. Wash out. How they will put trouble on Tinubu as Tinubu is playing with fire. Part of Nigeria and Niger, their causes. Some of the grandfathers.
I see also because you see in the tapes, I noticed Tinubu. Did you see how he was hugging with Nana Akufo?
France have nothing to offer. What caused the problem of Boko Haram in Nigeria? Indirectly, France was the one. You see, France was playing double game, right? France did this thing with Jonathan against Gbagbo in Ivory Coast. He so befriend Nigeria that Jonathan forget his sense somewhere and allow France to invade a Soviet country because you don't like the man, and befriend the president of Burkina Faso. Them broke. Look, the people that overthrow Gbagbo, they are not Ivorians. They are Burkina Faso guys. The soldiers that overthrown in Ivory Coast are Burkina Faso mercenaries. They are not French. They are not Ivorians. France again, after that, what happened? Then Obama and Cameron deposed Jonathan. They didn't allow him to come for a second time because of gayness. France could not do nothing. France have no power. France have no money. If I were Tinubu, I understand Tinubu is fighting for his own interest. He have houses, he have a house there, he's taking his treatment there, possibly have a bank account there. Possibility he doesn't even trust the British. So he immediately he's always going there on vacation. You don't play with a security for that country like that. You know, these guys are breaking away from the French. You know.
Yeah, but Ola, did you hear that guy, the Nigerian guy? He said no mutual interest with those countries.
Yes, no mutual interest, but he's speaking as a Sataner.
Oh.
Niger and northern Nigerians are like blood of the same father, the same mother. Look, see, if Obuari, great grandfather, came from Niger. Some of these Nigerian leaders, when you hear Abacha, all these guys, some of them have their roots that came from Niger. So when they share that border, those are in Nigeria, those are in Nigerians, but they don't say in French. The only thing that they just speak different language. But French, ever since have been manipulating these people, that Nigeria is a very dangerous country, Nigeria will invade them one day and everything. How did they start keeping Boko Haram in Niger? It's under the French. This French have been looking way to destabilize Nigeria will not disturb them in some of these countries, or Nigeria will not allow these countries to know what's called the freedom of enjoying your own wealth, your own capitalists and everything. Yes, I mean, okay. This
so, Ola, do you think Chiani has a point?
Yes, you have a point, because you cannot be my neighbor. You're not romancing my enemy. Why you know that if I'm the president of Niger, anybody can hide in Sokoto, Katsina, Zamfara, or some northern part of Nigeria. They are Niger bordering country. Anything can hide there and systematically invade my country. I'm dealing with one person, chase him out. You go in there as a neighboring friendship, as a brother. Nigeria always have good relationship with Niger, right from time.
Ola, who do you think is the biggest tap dancer in West Africa? Tinubu or Nana?
No, Tinubu. Nana is just number 2. Tinubu is the biggest one, and you have to understand. You see that guy speak Hausa in that broadcast. You know why speak Hausa in that broadcast? He's telling his people,
those people.
His people in the northern part of Nigeria that's against Tinubu. You know, the northern part of Nigeria at this moment, they don't love Tinubu. He betrayed them. That's why I speak on that Hausa language. Not just to talk to his people alone. The business between Niger and Nigeria in northern part of Nigeria is booming. You understand me? They are related. Why Nigeria has never off Niger light one day, no matter who is the president of Nigeria. I've never switched off that light because somebody overthrew in his own country. Rather, you ask the guy to keep peace, to work things out, and it's your country. As long our relationship they change. But the man they arrested, the so-called the man that look like Libya, they arrested, is a puppet.
Yeah.
To French. You're not even threatened Tinubu, what Macron did, you see, Tinubu was looking for acceptance, recognition, because in Nigeria, it was almost not to be, it was like election rigor that he didn't win. The case was so tough that, and his background also have issues. So he was looking for recognition. So he wanted to do anything to please the French and America. He was about to send troops there. But I wonder which troop would it have sent to Niger? If the northern soldiers.
Well, the way that man is talking, his types would they have no problem going to Niger and fighting.
No. Ha! That would have been the end of Tinubu. See, look, let me just tell you the truth. That man in Niger is looking for something. Only God knows. If Tinubu don't take time, the northerners, he's not a northerner. The northerners, they will boss him. He's a Yoruba man. He's not an Hausa man. That man know why he speak that language. Even when Tinubu is asking his northern people that is government to encounter it with Hausa, there's no everything. He's not going to fly. Even those in his government there, they will betray him. When that comes, ask Jonathan what happened. The northern economic is badly hit by that sanction. Badly hit. The people there, they are suffering badly. They come again with tax reform that will hit that side.
I heard one of Tinubu, I don't know if he's a Tinubu, but he sounded like it. He said Tinubu need to hurry up and pass that tax.
Okay,
look, quick. He said he need to do that quick.
Wait, okay, who's going to do it with the northerners?
He said whether they like it or not.
But how are they going to do it? Because a governor came out yesterday, the day first day, this is not a military regime. Tinubu doesn't know how to rule with the system. He think he's ruling Lagos. The northerners are the ones clever in how to maneuver power. And the Nigerians, there are already people coming there to vote inside Nigeria. Just if he does careful, these Nigerians will destabilize this government. How? They will use, you know, in a way, the Nigerians support him, as to Buhari to support the way he was begging for vote and everything. He was even romancing that guy the arrest in Niger. What you see now is that if you don't play his card well, the Hausas are just too much in population. The Hausas, that guy spoke Hausa, is to get to the heart of the Hausa people in northern part of Nigeria. And those people already start believing him already that there's a French base in Nigeria. You understand me? Things are very difficult now. In a way, most people don't even love Tinubu anymore. Because the hunger in Nigeria, the austerity measure in Nigeria is just too much. If the Nigerians also come and add their own into it, that man that is speaking is a certain Nigeria. He's speaking under the influence of money. It's a Tinubu propaganda machine and channel. What do you expect? He will always say things that will please them, but at the end of the day, deep inside Tinubu mind, he's panicking. Even the northerners in his government, they all panic because the man in Niger, he want to get to the heart of the northern Nigerians. All the Hausas, that's why the guy spoke in the Hausa language. It was a message. He didn't speak in French. He spoke in the Hausa language, in their language, for them to understand that man who you call your president in that country is a traitor. Nigeria have to be very, very careful.
Let's go to St. James. I'll come to you about Mozambique. St. James.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, let's start out with Nigeria. Chiani have accused Nigeria, pretty much tap dancing for France and, helping them destabilize them. And you heard what the Nigerian man said. What's your take?
I have a lot to say about this, Alpha Diamonds. First of all, thanks for bringing the Mozambique topic. I didn't know much about it, but I will take a look at it.
Okay.
It was very interesting. And for Tinubu, right, Alpha Diamonds, I would have hoped that you play Tiani's video about the situation, right? The thing about it is, Tiani gives specifics. It gave specifics about, the involvement of Nigeria in his country. It gave specifics. And if you see Nigerian response, you see the way how they responded. They say we have nothing to do with that. Why? Tiani gave specifics. He gave the specifics in Nigeria. He gave the specifics in Benin.
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
they couldn't.
He talked about Benin too.
Right. They didn't address them. You know, like a case by case, like you know, on each accusations. They did it globally. Oh yeah, we didn't have anything to do with it. While the military guy sat there and give you all the details. I just want the Nigerians to listen. I come from a country whereby one of our presidents were used as a puppet to do the dirty work of the white man. So I know how that works. So when we see the same thing in your country and we are vocal about it, take the time and listen. Now, first thing first, Afrodamus, we are all part of ECOWAS. I told that to Mike the other day, he called in. I said, when a coup happens in a country, the first step that ECOWAS does is to send a group of diplomats into that country to listen to them first. That's the first step. If you see what happened in Nigeria, they didn't do that. They started with the sanctions.
Right.
So, yeah, it left Nigeria a little sour about how they dealt with them. And Nigeria went on to even shut down their electricity. That is not part of, why we got together, to create ECOWAS. So we know somebody had to tell Bola, this is how you can hurt the economy, even when they close the border. Nigeria.
So, St. James, do you think? I mean, you knowing the French.
Yeah, right.
So, the welcoming party of Tinubu. I mean, it's a big one, right? And that man that was speaking in the channel, he said it's because Macron is a Niger boy now. Macron is Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
He grew up.
Who care for Macron? You can have Macron.
No, what I'm saying. Do you think that's deflection?
It's it's a deflection. It's been like we don't want because they had their relationship with France. We didn't help them create those relationships. If they want to keep those relationships,
yeah. But he said you guys have relationships with Russia. So yes. What?
Everybody does. Everybody does have a relationship with Russia. Who doesn't have a relationship with Russia? Everybody is should get as many partners as they can. Why is that supposed to be a problem all the sudden?
He said, there's no even mutual relationship with.
I am glad he said that, Alpadamus. Let me debunk that for a little bit. When we left ECOWAS, right? We said, they were not following the policy. They were making sanctions and all that, this, that, and the third, right? And we left ECOWAS immediately, right? What did they say? Oh, you guys cannot leave because if you try to leave, it has to take a year, right? They say it is, based on the policy, it takes a year for you guys to leave, right? And that 1 year anniversary is next month. So people in AAS, we're like, okay, we're going to wait next month and then get out. What did they do in the last summit, Afrodamus? They're giving us 6 months. And we came back and tell them, we don't know nothing about 6 months. Who's keeping who? They said we don't have a relationship. You're talking, we're trying to leave. We've been trying to go. Who's trying to hold us? The guy doesn't know what he's talking about. ECOWAS is giving us another 6 months after next month. Who's wanted it? Who wanted it? They made that up for us. So they're the one who are trying to keep us so the French can invade us. That's what that's what Chiani said.
Yes, I know. That's why, because this guy, like, Nigeria is downplaying it. Nigeria is disregard what they are saying.
The policy says 1 year, which means we made the declaration in January.
Do you think that's what that meeting when?
Absolutely.
Tinubu,
so look at the time. Look at the time frame, right? When Akufo went to Paris and then follow up by. What did these people do over there? Don't you think we know?
Ola's best friend.
Don't you think we know what happened there? So the thing is, Afrodamus, that's the whole policy.
Chiani is not being paranoid.
He's not. He knows about. You see, when you listen to that interview, he gives details. That's why when ECOWAS responded, I'm like, nah, nobody's listening to that. When we give details, you have to respond by details. He even challenged Bola. If you listen to the interview, he challenged Bola Tinubu. debunk this. He said it. Debunk that. This detail I'm giving you, is that true or not? They didn't respond. They didn't respond. We're not talking about Nigeria. We're talking about a government, in Nigeria. So if the people are getting mad, that's their issues. These people are targeting the president and some people within that country that want to destabilize the Sahel. That's it. It's not about Nigeria. We know there are a lot of people in Nigeria who are against what Tinubu is doing, who are against what the ECOWAS is doing. I get that. But when we target a group of people, stay out of it because we have the details. We have them. So if we're supposed to leave, because the mediation didn't work, right? They sent people to Mali, Burkina. We said we good. We've been saying that. So why the Nigerian guy is talking about we have no relation? If we have no relation, let's cut the ties today. You don't have to go on TV and try to lie about our country. We know what we're trying to do. We want to cut ties. If we can't reform ECOWAS, when we say reform, right, we're not trying to reform ECOWAS to our benefit. We're trying to reform ECOWAS for all the 16 countries. That's what we're trying to do. Let's talk about reform. If we can't have that reform, we're out. You guys can move on with that, And we made a statement that even after we leave ECOWAS, we will not put visa restriction on any country in ECOWAS. That's what we said. So IAS is for the people. It's not for the president. What they're doing is trying to bully us, make us believe that we are a bunch of nobody. Without ECOWAS, we can survive. And we told them, let's cut the ties already. Let's do it now. So who's holding who? Who's holding who? That's a question I'm asking. Who's holding who?
Hold on, let me read this real quick. 1 second. KG, thank you for the super chat. He said, what are your thoughts on Mahama, Afrodamus, and St. James? Thank you for the super chat.
What did you say?
He wants to know what is our thoughts on Mahama.
You see, Mahama already made a statement, right, against ECOWAS. You've seen the statement.
What did
Mahama, he says it's been there, done that. It's not the first coup that happened in this country, and we knew how to deal with them. So he doesn't understand why ECOWAS is fussing about this time. He said it. Mahama said that because he knows something about it. It's not about the coup that happened in those countries. The guy was talking about, the Nigeria has a French military base, Nigeria doesn't. Okay, they toppled the guy who was part of the people that brought the military base there. You should have been happy about it, right?
Right.
You should have been happy because when they toppled the guy that told the French to leave, you should have been happy about it. At least we try to look like Nigeria. We try to be like you. So you should have praised us that at least the people who toppled the guy that we didn't like was part of the group that told the French to leave.
St. James, what you're saying now, this is a perfect French way of playing games. What I say here is, you see, these two leaders, Nana Akufo and Tinubu, that like Rolls Royce and like happy life and all these things that steal money and pretend everything. Look, if Tinubu did have a house in France, right, he's always going there holiday. He's taking his treatment there, a possibility to have some huge bank account there. Tinubu is being held on his broadcast now. He can't deliver. He can't invade Niger. For you to invade Niger, I told you, there's no senator that will ever approve that thing. He cannot even do it covertly.
He doesn't have to do like covert.
No. If they found out, right, that any French troops move from Nigeria to invade Niger, hell will lose. Hell will lose. You understand me? What you're saying now, right? He would have understood. Look, this now to introduce that West Africa currency that France lobby Ouattara to do. So, okay, Ouattara, you don't want to join us, you just go. Now you have these guys now, right? These 3 countries or 4 countries now, which is Chad and all of them. Now you have them now. Now, hey, want to put on special, let's just bring it in. But Tinubu will not do it. He's not going to do it. That man that is speaking, there was no relationship. He don't know what he's talking about. That guy just hiding somewhere, talking nonsense out of his mouth. Look, Niger can destabilize Nigeria hands down. Hands down.
Ola, what do you think about what's happening in Mozambique?
Mozambique issue is another kind of corny issue. Mozambique issue almost want to look like Angola. You know, Angola problem that led to that civil war during the 1970 that up to 1990.
Right.
Mozambique is slowly drifting towards a kind of a war. You understand me? Because that party has really been there for a very long time. They want to kick them out. And some of this, you see, corruption is a problem. And guess what? Mozambique also have the same problem that West Africa have up to today.
Right.
Portuguese, his hands is behind that thing. When Portugal was not doing well, they were running to Mozambique and Angola when that 2008 economical crisis.
Yeah, I remember that.
You understand me? So what you see today, there's a party that is still licking their colonialist master ass, and that party, they don't even care about their country. You know what I mean? If you check what is going on, South Africa is not talking about it, or they blow off one day in their eyes. Can we not sit one day have what is your own interest? What interest do you want to drive in your continent? You understand me? The French romanticized Jonathan. Gbagbo was kick off. Do you know how to? Do you know what French they bomb the presidential palace of Ivory Coast to get to Gbagbo? They after Hollande or whatever it is, that man romanticized Jonathan. Jonathan was speaking totally different, kind of corny type of way of life. Democracy. What democracy? What kind of democracy? What democracy do you is Nigeria really enjoy democracy? Then you allow the man to go to Burkina Faso. The then president of Burkina Faso will just kind of like give a blind eyes. They rent mercenary from those territories, invade Ivory Coast, throw them out. I saw when this Macron Hollande was insulting the president of Burkina Faso on live TV, on the stage. When these presidents are people, they are talking heavy disrespect, like if that Burkina Faso president was like his puppet. I think Hollande, it's not Macron. I think Hollande or Macron. You understand me? These people have power now to push these people out. Why is Nigeria not giving a happy hand?
Let's bring in Mike.
Let me just 2 seconds. What must you be cooking, kissing somebody that's already destabilizing Nigeria? You think, my brother, Boko Haram, they just come from air. The same country that Tinubu is going to be friend with, these are people that engineered that if you destabilize Nigeria, this country you're seeing now, right? There are problem now. Nigeria will not able to come and help them, or Nigeria able to come and sell their culture. The same problem now that Nigeria is also getting in Togo now. If Nigeria go to Togo now, sometimes they're very hostile there too, in a way, to Nigerians.
Oh, towards Nigerians? Really?
Yeah. They're very hostile in a way. But it's a game that France have been playing for a very long time. It will blow up in our face as Nigerians.
Let's bring Mike. Mike, unmute yourself.
Yeah, what's up, man? I didn't follow the show from the beginning, so I'm not too sure.
Are you familiar with the story? Chiani, the leader of Niger, have accused Tinubu of colluding with France against Niger, to destabilize their country.
I heard something about there was a terrorist act that happened or something like that occurred.
Blew up their pipeline.
And then he's accusing Nigeria for sponsoring it or something
not the entire thing, because we've talked about whether Tinubu have interest in helping France to invade Niger. Remember, we talked about this.
We talked about it. Yeah, you're right.
So now,
Mike, the group that blew up the pipeline has a stronghold in Nigeria. He was referring to that.
Okay,
so that group was involved, not by themselves. They were involved with another group to blow up the pipeline. That's what Chani was referring to.
So terrorism. because somebody was I heard the accusation is that Nigeria is sponsoring the terrorism against them and things like that, And I mean, it's I'll be honest with you, man. Terrorism has been going on in Sahel, even in northern Nigeria until today. We're still dealing with it, and even before years ago, we all used to accuse everybody were accusing France, and then even me myself. If you go back, I used to be one of those people that were accusing Niger of France using Niger to sponsor terrorism. I mean, we're just, and now it begins to look like, okay, what's going on? Niger has kicked France out, and we're still having those terrorism. So it looks like maybe Niger wasn't really
They are
being
still in the
used.
region, Mike. They have not gone nowhere. You said that in an interview.
Yeah, say it again.
The French pretend to have left.
Yes. So,
No,
but
no, what I'm
they are in
saying.
neighboring countries.
Yeah, what I
Yes.
meant to say, I don't mean that of course they're not gone, they're still around.
Yeah, he said the French.
Yeah, but
So
what I
that's
meant
another
was
argument, Mike. So Nigeria don't want to clear that part. So
no. What I
Kiali
meant, hold on.
is saying that they kicked the French out, but they haven't left.
No,
They are
yeah, they haven't
somewhere
left. They
in
haven't
the
left.
region,
Correct.
close
What
by.
I meant, I didn't mean to say kick. What I actually meant was people were accusing the French using the J government. I think the French couldn't do it on their own.
But they
Back
said
then,
there's suspicion the French might be
yeah,
hiding
back then I was one
they
of
might
those
be
people.
hiding in Nigeria somewhere.
It could be hiding anywhere. You're right. So back then,
Nigeria.
hold on now. Let me. Back then, I was one of those people that used to accuse like the Niger government of being the one doing it directly at French using them. But now that the Niger government obviously are no longer dealing with the French, so obviously it clears that okay, maybe it wasn't the Niger government that the French were using. Maybe the French are doing it on their own. So now that's how it looks to me. But now it's looking like they was being flipped. People are saying, "Oh, now it's the Nigerian government that the Niger government is, the French are using to do terrorism." So maybe I don't know. I'm just at this point confused. But what I can say is, I just like you guys and everybody else, I'm really, really uncomfortable when I see Tinubu in hanging with God and all those
Paris.
things. Yeah, we all get uncomfortable.
Isn't
But
it
me
weird?
being, hold on, me being somebody from Lagos and actually being close to people that are actually close to him,
Yeah.
I've been doing a lot of my digging,
Yeah.
and a lot of people have been asking him that question, like, "Hey, what's up with what's this thing with France?" And even people in the Nigerian government, because there are a lot of northerners in the Nigerian government, including the vice president, they're all there, and they're all asking him the same question, and he's been consistent with his response that, listen, I'm out there looking for investors. I'm not interested in all these geopolitical, military. He's been consistent with his response. But wait, we're still looking at him. People in the government, they are Nigeria. Fortunately, the way our government is structured, you really can be this one lone guy from a region ruling the country, because he's like all the part of the country is kind of part of it, and they're
No,
watching you. They're part of the
he wouldn't
government.
be alone. He's not alone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There are a lot of
Alpha
northern
I
Nigerians and southwest.
I
The
got a
southeastern.
question for Ola and Mike, right? The way the rest of the Africans are looking at you, right? The West Africans, right? We can say those things without being most Africans, right? They look at Nigeria as a superpower. I'm being honest. They look at Nigeria as a superpower. Most Africans, some of them, they look at Nigeria as a superpower, right?
Right.
So when they see the situation that is ongoing, we can call each other brothers, right? We have a situation and we have a stance to take, each country. And these Africans are looking at Nigeria, the president of Nigeria, flying all over to France, a country that we believe is a small country now to us because we are fighting them and we are holding one leg. And we are hoping that the rest of the Africans can help us. And we see the superpower going to stand next to that little man, giving them strength, telling them to have these good business relationships that is dating back from wherever. And our small countries are looking at it like we are even able to inflict a lot of pain to that small country. But Nigeria, the superpower, that's supposed to be the umbrella standing next to that small country. What do you think these people will think about Nigeria?
Okay, let me ask you this question another way.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Nigeria's always had a relationship with diplomatic ties with France and many other countries. And in fact, even Macron was working in French embassy in Lagos while Tinubu was
We know that.
president.
Yes.
And that's where their close relationship came about, right?
Yes.
So now and we've always have French business, a company, just like we have US company, Chinese company, every other companies in Nigeria, and everybody have investment and things like that. So the question I'm asking is, do you want Nigeria to shut down those relationships, cut it out?
No, we don't, because we don't. But the fact that the president of Nigeria is the head of ECOWAS now and is mishandling the affairs of the ECOWAS nations, yes, we do see it as a slap on the face. Yes, we do see it like that. Because the fact, let me finish. The fact that, like you said, each country has their own relationship with their partners. We're not trying to infringe on that. But the fact that Tinubu is failing in negotiations with the IAS countries, and the fact that we have a problem with the French, and we are telling them the fact that French is mingling in our affairs directly, and we already made that case to ECOWAS in each West African country, that we cannot come back to ECOWAS because we believe these people are trying to destabilize us. Yes, we see it as a problem. If we didn't have those, if we're not together, yes, that wouldn't be a problem. But the fact that we are a problem and this becomes a problem, yes, it's a problem.
Let me ask you this. Hold on, Mike, 1 second. St. James. So do you think Chiani, what he was saying, like the rumors that's been spreading, is he like is this the idea in the AES that since the French, they haven't left, if they are not in Burkina Faso and they are not in Mali, they are not in Niger, so the rumor is they are somewhere in Nigeria. Is that
somewhere in Nigeria, Chad, and Benin?
Yes. Okay, so this is what the leader is saying.
After that was to finish my point, right? Do you see us telling Nigeria we are mad that you have a relationship with Italy?
No.
That you are mad you have a relationship even with Russia? Do we see us saying that? No. You see us saying that we have a problem because the timing is not the best.
The timing of what?
So everybody, like within ECOWAS, if we are together, we're trying to tell each country
the way that you deal with French.
The way that you deal. Listen, if you chose to deal with French,
well, they've been dealing with French before you start your problem.
No. Let me make it clear. Let me make it clear so you can understand. We made it. We point out to our enemy. This is the French, right? So we are within ECOWAS together. You have your relationship with French, right? If you want to still do your business with French and do whatever that you want, which is your right, leave our name out your mouth. That's what we are saying.
Okay, so
don't talk about us.
Explain to me how your name
do
is
your business and leave us alone.
Okay, hold on. And St. James, here's the deal. I really want to be on board 100% with you, right? But what I'm looking for is that evidence and that, like you said, name out of your mouth, the evidence or that proof that he is actually dealing with France against your own interest. That's the evidence I need. That's what I'm asking. Like,
okay. So if you know the history in your own country, Nigeria, right? Mike, who was behind the Biafra situation? Who was behind it too?
What do you mean?
I meant the key players. Was it France the key player in the Biafra war?
You're talking about
I'm asking you. We know. You know the level of nuisance that France bring to the Sahel, to West Africa. We know.
St. James, you and I agree.
When I first came here, right, it's like you having a show about Blaise Compaoré, and we know Blaise Compaoré involvement in Liberia, Sierra Leone, even in this country.
You have evidence.
No. It's like when you talk about it, right, and you see Burkinabe calling, denying that Blaise Compaoré didn't have no involvement. Sometimes it would be hard to bring hard evidence, but everybody knows.
But not in the open. But yes, he's very involved.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
If I ask you to bring evidence, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be able
before you believe it, right?
Yeah.
But so we just jump on board with you, right? Kind of proof, right?
Yeah. No, it's going to be a little sketchy. Even me, who was born there, right? Who was born in Burkina, who didn't even have enough information about the involvement of that man. So it's like asking me, oh yeah, can you like, if I call to debunk it, I'm like, okay, what evidence do I have to debunk it?
Sam James, who should I believe? Hold on, Sam James, let me ask you, who should I believe? When I have people in the Nigerian government, both Northerners and people that, I'm talking about people that are anti-French in Nigeria, they are in the government, they are in the Senate, like literally in the government, close to the military, close.
Okay, Mike, you want me to give you evidence? You want the evidence, right?
And
you
they're
want the
telling
evidence,
us
right?
that they haven't seen the evidence. But
You want the evidence? I'll give you that if you listen to me.
Okay, thank you.
Again and again. ECOWAS headquarters, where is it? Is in Nigeria, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever growing up, if a coup happened in the country, the first step of ECOWAS is to go to that country, have a conversation with the new leader, and see how they can come about in order to have a new election. If the president, the new elected president, the new president doesn't want to, doesn't want to free the former president, doesn't want to do anything, and he want to continue, ECOWAS will ask, what can we do together so we can have an election and elect a new president? That's what ECOWAS does.
Give me an example when they've done that.
The next step, they will exclude the country from ECOWAS until they gather together. They will appoint somebody from ECOWAS to follow as the liaison guy, the person that will go to that country and relay the message to ECOWAS and see if they are following whatever they discuss and whatever they decided for both the country and ECOWAS to move together. That's the policy of ECOWAS. The policy of ECOWAS doesn't say if a president is toppled, the rest of the country have to unite to go fight that country. There is nowhere it's written in the policy of ECOWAS. You from Nigeria, you can call your people in Nigeria and ask them if whatever they were trying to do to Nigeria was part of the policy, was part of the reason why this country came together. They will tell you no. The evidence that you want, that I'm going to give you, the first evidence was Nigeria got the phone call from the French. The French told them,
they had a phone call.
We have let me finish. They told the same thing to most of the president in West Africa that was listening. We have a lot of interest in Nigeria. In order, we cannot go and defend our interests because this is not our country. But what we need you guys to do, get together with the puppets and go attack that country. We will be back there following you, making sure this is successful. So the evidence
is this the
Nigeria, Nigeria cutting the electricity. What message do they send to the people of Nigeria? It's not part of the policy of ECOWAS. Hold on, let me finish. This is an evidence. Okay, no country in West Africa within ECOWAS, we never done that. So you did it. Hold on. You did it first. You do that. After do you know the country that doesn't have access to the sea, you cannot close your border and prevent them to have access to basic necessities and medicine. You cannot do that. It's written in the UN Convention. You cannot do that. Niger did it. Benin did it. All of them did it. What do you think told them to do that, Afrodamus? With the backing of the UN. The French.
So do you have proof that the French
me already with that, man?
Okay, that's a speculation, which is possible. I'm not going to say whether it is or
not. Did that happen?
Mike, let me come in. I think St. James, you are not fair. You forgot one thing.
The one evidence I'm giving. All you gotta say was this evidence or not evidence. Don't take me to a circular conversation. He made it clear that he want evidence. I gave it to him.
Hold on, St. James. Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali interest is not Nigeria interest. Everybody have their own interest. Nigeria have to put focus on his country and his citizens first before thinking about other people. Also, Nigeria has the right to do business or deal with France. When you guys invite military base into your country, you didn't seek Nigerians' opinion. You guys did it.
Exactly.
We were not the one who invite those people.
They had the largest U.S. drone base in Niger. Did you remember? Nigerian government were against that. Remember?
Yes, you guys did not listen to us. You guys give us a middle finger. Not now. You want to call us coon. We have been watching. You guys
been giving Nigeria middle finger for so long.
Yes.
Again, Alpadamus, you see where this is going?
We are superpower. We have to come.
You know where this is going?
I don't care. Nigeria has to fight for his
interest. Hold on, guys.
Okay, Alpadamus.
Hold on, guys. Let me say.
You see, they don't listen to what they don't listen. They don't seem to be listening, right? If Nigeria has its own interest, right? Isn't that what the AES is asking?
No.
Isn't that what we say? Let's cut ties. Is it? No. Hold on. I'm happy that you are coming on my side, right? Telling me that you have your own interests? Who's making it clear to the world that we need to move away from each other? Who is doing that? We did it. We said, if it's not working, whatever that we have within ECOWAS, if it's not working, let's everybody get on their side. We said it. We said it. We said it. Bola being the president of ECOWAS. So you cannot come here and tell me that you have your own interest. You want to do whatever you want to do. That's within your right. We also have our rights. Okay, listen. No, you're going backwards. We're going back. Listen, don't take me backwards. Let's go forward.
I was okay. You are right. We didn't have anything to do with Burkina Faso. You understand me?
What happened?
It is Niger that is trying to, misbehave.
What happened?
Yeah, we don't have anything to do with Burkina Faso. You understand me?
You have what?
I think we don't have any issue with you guys. I don't understand why you are pushing as if.
Yeah, I think Nigeria and Burkina Faso never had any bump.
Okay, but the brother is coming here telling us that you have your own interest. I'm like, okay, if it's not working, let's all go. Let's move away.
Give me a second. And James, I don't think you're paying attention to what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is, I want to be on board with you if you can prove to me that Nigeria is doing something, but something currently. Don't tell me about when the coup was happened, the wrong move Tinubu made, which he later retracted his step. Hold on. Which he later retracted his step. We're not talking about that. We're talking about right now. Some kind of proof.
Okay, you want the new evidence, right? Okay, so you said let's be fair, right? If I give you the evidence, you're going to have to be fair with me, right? If you want me to be fair with you, you're gonna have to be fair with me, right?
You told me to allow you to land your this and I kept quiet. Allow you, but allow me to.
Okay, go ahead.
And I'm telling you that I personally, you know the way I feel. Like I want to be on board with you 100%. I'm telling you that I'm one of those people that was suspecting what's like Tinubu being in France and everything, and I've been digging, looking for that evidence of him doing something directly to destabilize Niger or any other African country. Directly, evidence. And then
I'll give you the evidence if you're ready. I'll give you a new one. I'll give you a new one if you're ready.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. When did we make? Okay. Hold on. You want a new statement? I give him a new statement. Okay. When did we make the statement that we won out the AAS country? You remember? I can tell you.
Okay. So you made a statement that you won out
24 January 24 that we made the statement that of 2022, I believe, that we won out. You remember that, right? Okay. And with Bola Tinubu being the president of ECOWAS, right? Mm-hmm. If you remember that said, it takes, the country cannot leave, just make a statement and leave, right? And the ECOWAS nation say, okay, we don't care because ECOWAS is not following the policy, so therefore we don't even have to agree on anything. So they left. But the people like me, we still do believe that in order for us to leave, it has to, that 1 year, time, frame has to go by so we can leave officially. So we all know it's going to take effect next month. We know it's 1 year, 12 months. It's written. All 16 countries agree. If a country wants to leave ECOWAS 12 months and you out, do you agree or you don't agree?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll check it out for the sake of the conversation. I'm not going to push back too hard on you on that because you don't have the information. You can look at the case of Mauritania when they left. You can look at all the, it's stated 12 months. Okay, they had the negotiation. ECOWAS said we're going to negotiate. We're going to try to see if we can come together. They don't want us to, go our separate way, which was a good thing. I wasn't even, to be honest with you, I didn't even want us to leave. I wanted to see if we are willing to do the reform that we all asked for. It didn't go well. They had the last summit. Last summit took place in your country, Nigeria. You know what they decided to do? Not to respect the policy again. To say, okay, it's going to take another 6 months for the AES country to leave ECOWAS. That's why Chani said, no, they are giving 6 months just for the French to maneuver again. Because you know what? The French need ECOWAS. In order for them to do something, all they have to do is to back ECOWAS so they can come next. That's what Johnny said. No, they're doing this because they still want, because to give a French the voice is to keep us within ECOWAS. To keep us within ECOWAS will keep French engaged with the Sahelians. That's why we want to cut that ties. So the French Stop.
St. James,
So
it
the
just
French can
looks like you
stop.
don't follow
I'm just a
St.
little
James, you
confused.
don't follow this. That's not what happened. What happened is that they agree that on this January they have
Yes.
approved for you guys to leave. But what they did is that they also gave an 6 months, like a 6 months grace if you guys can decide to change your mind. They did not.
Who
They already
wanted it?
approved. They already
What do
approved.
you
There is
if you
no
want to
grace.
leave an
That's what I'm trying to
organization?
tell
Hold on.
you. In
They
order to when you
hold on, sir.
negotiate,
They have already approved you guys to leave on January. Then
no,
they
there is
only
no grace.
add
After
this
that,
extra 6 months
does
for
these
maybe
people
this
understand
custom.
or they don't
So, but
understand the
hold on,
grace?
Hold on. I'm trying to
hold on.
understand. That's what I'm trying to ask you a question, but you're not
If you
giving me a
leave
chance.
on January, by the completion of the 6 months, you didn't engage with Nigeria and the rest of ECOWAS. Fine, you go.
After
As
that,
long as
again,
ECOWAS
they don't
confirm
understand
you
the
back.
trickery. They don't understand the trickery
There is
But
that
St. James, I'm trying to
ECOWAS is
understand. Can
doing.
I ask you a question
Because
so I can understand better?
After
There's
that,
no
the
trickery here.
50th anniversary of ECOWAS is next year, and they're talking about the currency. They're trying to come up with the ECO, right? If the ECO is coming, right, and we still haven't left, we will still be engaged into that conversation, even though.
Honestly, guys, to be fair to St. James, guys, I've already done the show here where I brought, and you guys, I don't know if you watch it, what Nana Akufo said about, the AES, like they're not gonna let them go. So
I don't know why they're debating this like hard.
No, my question is,
If when did you find out? I asked
Don't add
Mike
it like
and the other guy. When
our
did they
country
find
have
out? When did they?
business.
No, hold on. When did they find out
have
that we
business.
weren't coming back?
We have
You
other
send
things
people to negotiate, right?
Right.
You send them to
Yes.
negotiate, and they told
That's
you they're not
nothing
coming
to do
back.
with
So
the
6 months
administration.
before the 1 year,
Administration comes and
6
go.
months
hold
after
on,
that,
boy,
6 months
Yes.
before the 1
I'm
year.
trying to understand.
No, hold on. Let me finish. 6 months before the 1 year. If you said it takes a year, if this country made a statement in January saying that they're leaving, and you give them a 12 months, so within that 6 months, you should have known by now that this country ain't coming back. So the grace period shouldn't have even been taking place next month, because we
They
don't
have
need it.
already
The country
approved
said
you.
we don't want it.
Sir,
We
they
don't want
have
a grace
already
period.
approved you to leave on
No,
January.
okay, no. So
So
after
no,
that, he doesn't understand the trickery.
Can I ask the question?
He doesn't understand the trickery. There is a trickery behind it.
No,
So you don't get it.
Not complete.
Afridamus, can I just ask the question?
They have already approved.
I don't really understand what they're
them to
talking
leave,
about.
but they gave another extra 6 months.
No, they have what they call grace period. They're still gonna hold.
That's what I'm saying. But they already approved
My
it.
question is, like, so to leave ECOWAS, you can't leave unless someone release you. I don't understand. Like that, I'm really ignorant of that. Yeah, whatever it is. It seems like what St. James is telling me is that they are being held in ECOWAS by force.
Those guys, they are just complaining.
Afterdamus, the grace period shouldn't have taken place if they're negotiating good. Afterdamus,
so you don't need
you
grace
and I
period to
have
treat
12
French,
months to
but you need
negotiate
grace period to get out of
if
it.
we can be together, right? You said 12 months. This side agreed that okay, that is 12 months.
But
And the other side said that is 12 months.
with grace period? Why
Within
don't they
that
just
6
leave the
months, right?
organization?
Within 4 months, 3 months, each side should have known by then. Oh, about the state of the negotiation. Are they coming back or not? They're not coming back. If ECOWAS was negotiating in good faith, within that 6 months, they would have called these people that were negotiating. Are we like, is there any progress? And these people would be like, nah, these people ain't coming back. So within that 6 months, there shouldn't be no grace period. They should say, hey, listen, let's start dismantling this thing before that 1 year. Within that 1 year anniversary, we done. We went our separate way. There is no grace period. We good. That's what this Sahelian state are saying. They did not negotiate in good faith. That's why they still want that 6 months for the trickery to go on.
The way I asked you a question, the answer you are giving me.
Ola to give his 2 cents.
All these things we're talking about now, the French are playing Nigeria. But Nigeria don't understand. Tinubu have interest in France. The French have been playing us for a very, very long time. They've been lying to some of these Francophone countries that are going to take over their country one day. They're lying to them. Don't come close too much to them. Do you trust them? Even this Benin Republic you're seeing, so come a time, once at a time, I think there's one president that was there with the Nigeria started open churches there. We understand what happened there. Togo also getting threatened also. What the French are doing, and they've been doing this for a very, very long time. Nigeria destabilization, right, by this so-called Boko Haram. Where did they have their house, their living room for? In Niger. Even when that puppet was very close to Buhari at that time, it was playing a double face. What Assad play while the Russians and the Iranians secretly dump him. That's what that man that they overthrew was playing. Nigeria would have played safe. Yes, Tinubu wanted to invade that country when we were just be swinging within 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The French wanted him and Ghana to form a kind of like a ECOWAS force.
Hola. The question is, where did those French troops? Chiani is saying they did not leave. They are still in the region. That's what he is saying. Right? He said, where are they hiding?
Yeah,
they're either in Benin, it's rumored.
Is the US base still in Niger, Afridamus? Is the United States base?
But they're kicking them out. Did you not hear about that?
Are they still there? Are they still there? That's what I'm asking.
They left.
Yes. I think
$500 billion, $500 billion drone base.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Look.
So the US base is still there, and you don't think the French are hiding in the US base?
This man they overthrew, right?
Kidola, hold on first. See, Nigeria has its shortcomings, but being dumb is not part of it. We know
exactly.
We know these people. That's why over the years, even when Boko Haram, at the height of Boko Haram, we didn't allow foreign mercenaries to come to our country.
Exactly. Even the United States, when they offering to come in, we didn't allow them.
No, they came.
We know if they come in, they're going to cause more problems. But it was all these other countries that are.
So we know these people, man. So when you're talking, Kidola, we can't think for ourselves. We are just these dumb people that are the friends. We just play. We can't think. We don't know what's going on in the world. We don't have a lot of intelligent people that are actually out there advising. Come on,
America came. What happened? The Northerners never trust them. The Northerners allowed
them. Stop making it Northerners and stop doing these Northerners, Southerners.
Hold on.
The Nigerian government is not North or South. They are all one. The intelligent community, they are all one people.
What Ken is doing, right? Ken never forgive Tinubu for that invasion because in that ECOWAS law, there's nothing like you have to invade a country that is not into a civil war. So what the French was trying to do, the French were trying to sponsor some rebels. Out of the blue, just came from nowhere, like, yeah, we're this, we're that. They wanted to use that one so that this present Niger government and those who will be fighting, then ECOWAS will now come and like, yeah, there's problem there. We have to keep the life there. But what Tinubu did, he just switched off the light at once, which sanction. Then giving them ultimatums followed without not consulting with the Senate. Then somebody leaked out the memo that Nigeria is about to invade Niger. They wanted to invade the capital.
But Kidola, that time is gone. They didn't do it. Let's move on. Why do we keep? We are talking about today. The thing is, we keep going back to the beginning. Right? We can all agree that we all agree. Even himself admits.
No, but that time needs to be brought back for people to understand. So you cannot skip steps. No, Mike, you cannot.
You contradict yourself.
We have to go back from the beginning. How it started. It's like when you punch somebody in the face. Guess what? That person is going to be sour. When he gets sour, he's not going to make the right decision. He's going to look at you as the enemy.
Can I say something? Just you have to give me 1 second. You have to give me 1 second. So much contradiction. They will say the French gave them order to call electricity, do this, and go and invade. At the end of the day, he didn't invade. So if the French give him order, so he disobeyed French order by not invading, and then he obeyed French order by cutting
invading or not invading. There was something that was already being put in place that was squeezing Niger already. So the fact that you didn't invade, you were preparing the terrain. That's why you went and put these sanctions against them to squeeze them to the conversation. When they were not complying. After check this out. After the meeting that Mike is trying to talk about, right? After the meeting, when they said they're going to invade Nigeria, after the meeting, to Tinubu's, credit, I didn't see Nigeria come outside and say, "Okay, we're invading Nigeria." To his credit, so the trickery that I'm talking about, that the Nigerians here that are understanding, Alassane Ouattara, when he flew and landed in Ivory Coast. It was preparing the Francophone country. So when the Nigeria had given the signal, these people would have went there. So
but
that's
Nigeria
the
didn't give the
trickery.
signal, so it didn't happen.
Okay,
So let's
then,
move on.
Mike, I ask you now.
But
So if they have a vote, right? If they have a vote and the majority win, let's say if the majority, if they say they're gonna attack Nigeria, let's say Nigeria says, okay, we're not going. We're not gonna vote for it.
You keep going
Do
back
you
to
think
that era.
Nigeria can
That
stop
time
it?
is gone. We're talking about today. What's going on today?
What happened?
You guys don't get it, bro.
Afrodamus, what happened is this: Nigeria Senate and the northern part of Nigeria, they were totally against it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so then we moved on. We moved on.
Okay. Who are you going to send to Niger? You want to send their brothers there? If you send northern soldiers to Niger, they're not going to fight. If you
Dude, what are you talking about? So Nigerian military is not soldiers. What are you talking about?
Afrodamus.
Hold on.
I want to ask Ola a question because these people are not getting it. Let me ask Ola.
Is Nigerian military not soldiers?
No. Listen.
Hold on. If you send northern soldiers there, they're not going to fight. If you send an Igbo there, they will pick him out.
Use your conversation. What's all the tribal rubbish? Is Nigerian military a tribal military?
Mike, you gotta.
Is that the way military work? It's like saying you say African American soldier, they're not going to fight. What are you talking about?
Let him talk because he's not interrupting anyone. Let him speak.
Let me speak. Then the northern elite were heavily against it also because there already protests going on in the north already. If you understand, Kiani never forgive Tinubu for what he did. I think up to today, Tinubu plane cannot fly over Niger.
He does not need to. He does.
And guess what? Why can he come out?
Let him finish.
Hold on. I have a platform where I track his travel.
Hold on. No, let me finish.
He can fly over
now, what you see now, right? Kiani is whipping up the heat now. You know why? He understand the Northerners are not with Tinubu so much like that anymore. Right? He came out. Yeah, they bombed their pipeline. That pipeline can be done by Benin because they also have some people hiding down there. But why involve Nigeria? Because he know Benin was in Nigeria telling they want to learn about how to do election. What Kian is doing is not speaking to the Northerners, which is his people. You understand me? In the Hausa language, right? To destabilize Tinubu government. And he will do it. He succeeded in taking Tinubu out of power. This is not the first time. This is not the first time the jail have done such a thing before. When Jonathan was there, they didn't like Jonathan.
Kidola.
I always sound like all these
Nigeria government was just being, they have been playing with the guy. If he say he wants to go tick for tat, he will be the one to lose his power. It's just the truth. All his take, hold on, Kidola. All he would take, hold on to Kidola. All he would take, is for some of the people in Nigeria to use their money to finance some of the opposition there. That guy will be gone.
Yeah, who's gonna do it?
Relax.
Even the invasion, it was going to be the Nigerian Air Force that was going to do it, not Nigerian soldiers. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I want to touch on the trickery, right? Because
it was going to be the.
You see why the Sahelian
overthrow the.
You know why we are scared. You know why the Sahelians are scared? Because we thought Nigeria knew better. We found out they don't.
Because
trust me, we thought Nigeria knew better. Stop cutting me off, brother. You stop cutting me off, man.
Let him talk.
We thought like when this situation started, some of our people didn't know much, right? But we thought Nigeria was so advanced. When we talk about friends, right? We thought they knew better. So we were so happy when Nigeria got involved. It's like, nah, Nigeria. Now these Sahelians are like, nah, way. Like there's a lot of people in Nigeria who don't understand the trickery. What Mike doesn't, those guys don't understand, right? Within that 6 months time frame, right? We're telling you the French trying to destabilize us, right? And they haven't been successful. Do you agree? Yes. Within that 6 month time frame, let's say they are successful in one country within AS. You know how they're gonna do it? They're gonna go back to the ECOWAS and tell them we got leverage now. So you will see Tinubu or somebody from the French government, from one of them francophone country, they will say, oh, well, we're now considering because the opposition leader in Nigeria, Burkina Faso is saying that these people need to stay. They will use that grace period to get us back in. That's what you guys don't get. They're trying, they're still within that grace period, they're still trying to do the work to see if they can divide one country and see if they can grab one opposition leader and tell ECOWAS, oh, wow, now we got somebody's breathing there within one country. So if that person can galvanize the rest of the people against one of the president, now we got something. They will use that grace period and say, the grace period is no longer, we will get this country back at any means necessary.
If they want to do
and
it, they
again,
would have
and
done
another
it.
example I'm going to try to give you. Let me finish. You don't understand trickery, so you need to be quiet a little. If
you said
this
the same
ECOWAS
thing
country,
during
right? How many francophone countries do you have within ECOWAS? We have the majority of francophone, yes or no, Afridamus.
You're right.
Let's say Alassane Ouattara get to do what he wants to do, right? And he's successful. And he tells Bola Tinubu, let's put this thing on a vote, right? They put that on a vote. Nigeria may say, we have no dog in a fight. We're going to step aside. But Nigeria cannot impede this country that would like to do the beating of the French. Nigeria will do what Nigeria does, protect its interests. I am not against that. But you guys don't understand the trickery. We get it. So if you don't, that's what we say. Leave us alone. Let us fight our fight, and everybody can move on. I hate to see Chani talk about Nigeria. I hate to see anybody from AS talk about any country in ECOWAS. Let's get this deal over. Like, it's over. Let's move on. We don't have to point finger. We don't have to. We don't have to incriminate nobody. But the trickery part of it, we are from the francophone state. We understand the French better, maybe than you do.
Let's bring in John,
their
guys.
currency. Why haven't you switched your currency
Hold on,
to
Nigerian first. Let's
create a new currency by
bring in
now?
John also.
It's a process, and in anything there is a process. We are not savages.
Do you still have
We're
your
not
central bank in
we're
France?
not gonna be reactionary. It takes time to do things, and this country knows.
Do you guys
After
have your
leaving
central
ECOWAS,
bank?
we are not savages.
Guys, let's allow John in. John, are you there?
Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
We are doing well. John, what do you want to add on to the topic?
You know, I won't interrupt the discussion, man. I'm just listening.
Oh, you just
yeah, I
listening?
don't know.
Okay. All right, no problem.
Yeah, I don't
And
know much
I'll
about
let Nigerian first.
Yeah, go right. I'm learning here.
Afrodemus. Nigeria has to protect its interests and its business. Also, when this thing happen, people just expect that the Nigeria will just sit down and just look. Don't you think all these leaders, they also want to protect their own power? All those democratic leaders, they will just sit down
And USD, and to even have to, you know, that's not the first coup they've had in those countries. They've always had coups like constantly. So exactly.
You
So
guys
people
have
don't know, I don't know
you
what
have
these
more
guys
coup in
again.
Nigeria than all these countries. We can put the coups. We can count them, Mike. We can count them. You had the same coup. Violent coup, civil unrest. Matter of fact, terrorism is killing. Matter of fact, terrorism is killing more people than all these entire three countries put together. Let's put the number. You guys are failing at killing, at doing anything about terrorism. We don't need your lesson. We don't need to learn from you. You guys are failing. More than 600 Nigerians have been killed by terrorism. Don't give us lesson with your democracy, with your whatever. You are failing at it. We don't need your lesson. We don't need it. How long has been going on in Nigeria, Mike? How long terrorism has been going on in Nigeria? Have you stopped it? Have you stopped it? With your democracy, have you stopped it? With your big money, have you stopped it? Don't give us lesson, bro.
Nobody.
We don't need it, man.
Hold on, calm down now, calm down.
Listen, we're not listen. We don't listen. Like I told you, we're not scared of Nigeria. If you can go places and say Nigeria is this, Nigeria, we're not scared of you. Trust me, we're not scared of Nigeria. The only thing that you guys have is the size of your country. Heart to heart, you guys cannot fight us. Honestly, you can't.
Okay.
Trust me, you can't. We have a war culture in our countries. We have military culture. If you want to try, let's do it. Let's do it, son.
Hold on.
Don't go places and talk about Nigeria. Listen, the only thing that you have that is in your favor is the size of your country. If you want to talk about military, no way, sir. No way.
You think the guy wearing military this thing, that's how to show power? Relax.
How many people got killed in Nigeria about terrorism? Put the numbers. Put the numbers.
St.
See,
James,
Put the number, sir.
direct confrontation. Hold on.
Put the number, sir. You are failing at it. So we don't need lessons from you, sir.
Hold on. You see how stupid you are. Direct
can you hold on, please?
confrontation
Can you allow me to say
terrorism
something?
are not the same. If we are to engage you guys, we know where you guys are. You are not
Sir,
terrorists.
when we give you the deadline to go to Niger, you know what you guys did? You back down. When they give you the deadline, no. When you guys got the deadline, they told you to cross that line. If we're Mumu, right? If we're Mumu, we shouldn't have given you a deadline. If we're Mumu, we wouldn't have given you the deadline. No, hold on. A punk, I never heard a punk. I never, listen, hold on. I never heard a scary guy. I never heard somebody who's scary, who can't fight. Give somebody, Apodamus, mute that guy because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Apodamus, have you ever heard a man who's scared, who's worried about a fight? Apodamus, have you ever heard a guy who's scared about fighting, but is inviting you to a fight? Have you ever heard that before?
Well, you guys are taking this conversation to a
no. Let's not pump chest, man. Let's not pump chest. Alphadamus, I never heard a guy who's scared of a fight, but is inviting somebody to a fight. I never heard that. I never seen it before. So maybe that's the first time. If we're afraid of Nigeria, we wouldn't have given them a deadline. Cross that line, we will see what happens.
And who's the strongest. That's not what we're here to discuss. I don't know why you guys took it to that direction.
Give me 2 minutes. You see, sometimes when we talk these things, the way some just feel, that's the way the Nigerians feel also. Because sometimes we don't have to be biased. At this moment, Nigeria cannot fight any other war. We have too much on our plate. We have all kinds of terrorists.
That's what I'm saying.
Because Nigeria doesn't know that I feel exactly the way you feel. There's no one in Africa that doesn't want Africa to come together and work.
This guy was coming here trying to talk about some pride he believes that other people don't have. Trust me, we have the same pride, bro.
St. James,
listen, make it clear to yourself, we're not afraid of Nigeria. I want you to go to bed thinking that we're not afraid of Nigeria.
You can say that online.
Hold on, calm down.
The one that gave the deadline and the other one didn't cross was us. We gave you the deadline, you didn't cross. So we got the upper hand. Understand that.
Guys, can you allow me to say something?
The president doesn't have
hold on, Nigerian first, guys. Let's not interrupt each other. Allow Ola to finish his point. Every time he speaks, you guys cutting him off.
I'm not
let me know when it's my turn, okay?
Okay. It's after Ola, it's you.
You see, what you see now, right? ECOWAS was formed between Nigeria and Niger, formed by Molitala Mohammed. You understand me? Nigeria was the first friend of ECOWAS. They were very friendly, no attack, no threatening, no matter what happened. What happened when Tinubu stood up and gave that declaration, that would annoy the Nigerians. Because they thought French was the one speaking and United States. Other countries have been very scared of Nigeria power. And the French have played these things into this. Cameroon, 1980, we know what happened. 80s. There was almost a war between Nigeria and Cameroon. When Cameroon killed five of Nigeria's soldiers in Bakassi. The Nigerians retaliated immediately. Then the French started sending soldiers there. Then the Shagari said, okay, let's fight. Then later, things will drop back because of the economical interest. The French were never really our friend. Nigeria would have played this thing in a very safe way. Call these guys. Hey, we want stability in that place with family. You understand me? Let's settle these things. You cannot give a tomato to somebody else's country because they overthrew there.
Well, because Tinubu was busy doing this.
I can do some shuffling too. Look out, man, what you gonna do? Look out, boys, it's coming through. Yeah, man, yeah, man.
Poor hubby.
All right.
If you check Liberia war, it takes Nigeria a long time to get involved. Abacha didn't want to get involved at the time. Because Nigeria always have this kind of, they always felt, you see, the size of our country should not be a threat to any of your neighboring country. Because we already understand the French was already using these things against us. So what you're seeing now, be that man is from northern part of Nigeria, I bet you, is people believe that man in Niger that there's a secret military base in Nigeria. If you watch some of the northern news, the way they're talking, they say, hey, we believe him. That's what that guy spoke in Hausa. That Hausa language, it went directly to his own people. You understand me? You see the division between the south and the north is very, very big in terms of all these things. I don't understand. When Buhari came to power, a lot of things changed. When Jonathan was there, when those terrorists were re-invading, all this was being sponsored by the country that they're going to meet now. South Africa came to Nigeria. United States came, but they didn't want to help because they didn't like Jonathan. Buhari slowly asked them to go. Let's train our people. That's how Nigerian army start taking over slowly. We have a very big corruption in our army problem. That's just the problem. Then we want to go and invade Niger. Man, who are you going to send there? Who? Do we only have Igbo and Yoruba soldiers? Hell no. You're going to send the northern soldiers there. They will speak Hausa. Think they're going to listen to you when there's no war going on in that country because you want to put democracy there. They will turn against you. That's why the Senate and the northern elite, people like Abu Salah, started going to Niger for negotiation, for them to talk, to calm things down. Then the Russians came in. When the Russians came in, the Nigeria back off. Because it's this everything you see there is geopolitics. And if Nigeria don't play it well, we will get burnt into things that we never really expect. We will be burnt heavily by the Russians. They said, look, the pipeline, the Western Europe want to take pipeline from Niger somewhere to where they will ship it over to the Mediterranean Sea there. The Russia doesn't want that. The Russians are fully in. And they're ready to fight. You understand me? The people that overthrow this man, there is his bodyguard. Niger is suffering. Niger is not getting nothing. They be poisoned with this chemical that France is taking in their place there. If you check the children there, heavily be poisoned. People free themselves. We play safe. Just play safe. Don't be too much to the French.
Africa, when we are discussing issues, we always blame the white man for our problem. Never ourselves, the decision we make for ourselves. Always the white man. Always the white man are only fighting for the interest. Can't we also do the same? Can't we do the same and fight for our interest?
That's why we ask for the reform. That's why we have to reform ECOWAS. One of the reasons ECOWAS is not working is because of the same thing you just said. We need the reforms. The same thing that you're talking about and ECOWAS doesn't want to have is what you just said. When a country, when you have country that comes there and tell you this thing started when let me give you the Israel ECOWAS, right?
When these people
like Ola said, who created ECOWAS? It was Nigeria, right? Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. You know these people, they are all military. All military. In 1990, you know what they did? They decided to become political. This was not political. If you remember, all are you here? You know, when Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali, you can go look it up. Those were the country that started ECOWAS. It was not political. It was economical. If you look at it, it was based on the economy and the free movement of people and good. That's why we wanted it. In the 90s, it became political. It became political and major interests got involved. Now these people are looking at it like, oh, wow, ECOWAS is being used as a tool. And these people are not understanding it. If we are not benefiting from ECOWAS, what's the point of being there? The people are already moving. What the AS is saying, right? Hold on, let me finish.
In this country,
for the free movement of good and the people, maybe we don't need ECOWAS, right? My country, Niger and Mali, we said for the citizens of Africa, West Africa, you can come trade in our country. You can move into our country if you like. You can do whatever. That's the political part of ECOWAS that we don't like because we believe a lot of major hands from overseas are getting involved in our business. The same thing that you're trying to say is not good. Africans are talking about foreigners. That's the same thing that Sahelian country wants. We want to do business amongst ourselves without the involvement of the Westerners. You see one group standing on business and you see one group not trying to listen. You understand? That's what is causing the problem because it became political. Too political.
Apodemus. Elon Musk wanted to set up lithium this thing mining in Nigeria. He didn't meet up with our agreement. We let him go with his money. That's how to do things. You guys make this deal, not Nigeria. You did seek Nigeria opinion or Nigeria input when you guys were giving a military base to these people.
And then they did a coup on their own. And then they want
my country, but we never gave a. My country never gave a military base to France.
Back then, people will
My
say,
country never gave a military base to France.
You're trying to
So stop
their
accusing
neighbor.
people.
Now you're no longer part of the people.
No, there was a military base in Niger. There was one in Ivory Coast. There was one in Senegal. There was never a French military base in my country.
But we talk about you've been talking about you've been speaking on behalf of Niger all day.
No, because we became one. We became one.
Okay, fine.
We became one.
See, here's
so you were the proponent of the. You were the one who said that let's not go backwards, right?
Allow Mike to speak. Allow Mike.
You said that let's not go backwards. You're the one who said it, right?
Guys, allow Mike to speak.
See, here's the deal, man. If we're gonna have conversation, we're gonna have to. Let's not make it look like we're in a bar, alcohol, drinking, talking, like and we saying things like just based on substance. Like like we say, the Igbo soldier, what kind of conversation is that, man? Come on. If you know how military work, it's order. They give you order. You have to follow order. It doesn't matter whether I like what they are telling you to do. If you commander in chief say go and shoot, you go and shoot. There's no, I'm not going to shoot because I'm Hausa. What kind of talking is that, man? Come on, I know better than that, man. But anyway, same case. See, where I'm trying to get you to is, you need to understand. Even we've been consistent. Almost every Nigerian has been consistent. Kidola, UFC, me, we are on the side of the people of Africa, people of Niger. No human being, no citizen of Nigeria will support our leader acting against another African country or people on behalf of white man. And I came in, I consistently tell you that I'm still digging, even me myself. I'm still digging. I need evidence and things like that.
I gave it to you. You refuse to listen.
Calm down. The evidence you're giving me is based on. It's not. These are not concrete evidence. Oh, he made a bad choice in the beginning. Oh, this policy went wrong. Oh, the white man called him. No, you can't just tell me someone gave a phone call. Yeah, we get that. It's possible, but I need concrete evidence because personally, people that know Tinubu, I know people in the Nigerian government, the intelligence community. I'm talking about the intelligence community, and I asking, they're saying they've been drilling him. And they're even getting in his mind. He is well aware of the geopolitical game. Trust me, people in Nigeria is not just a country where one president enters, it's just one who is just dictating this and that. We have intelligent community that give briefing, instruction, advice, all those things, historical things. They know all these things. And there's no country in Africa that has been more anti-French than Nigeria. You yourself said it. You will go way back to even Biafran war. It was the French that was supplying the Biafrans weapons against Nigeria back then. We know that. Kidola, give you another example. The Bakassi, what they gave the French soldiers weapon when Nigeria was about to go to war with Cameroon. They came. This French troop came there. They've been our problem. When we wanted to do the eco currency in West Africa and things like that, the French came and sabotaged it. When Boko Haram started, even the Nigerian government were accusing France of giving weapons to the Boko Haram.
That's what I remembered.
So we've always had issue with France. So we know France. So you're talking as if we are these people that don't know nothing about France, and France just giving us a phone call.
I am showing the guy coming here.
Calm down. I'm going somewhere. Allow me to speak, man.
Mike,
Allow me to speak.
Some of the Nigerians are calling Macron a Niger boy. They say he's invited to the Egusi cookout.
After that, but they were singing Peace Square to him, and they were, they were singing Peace Square to him at the presidential palace, man.
That's the deal. But wait, here's the deal. If when what do you call it, Chinese president comes to the United States, they'll hold on. Even the U.S. president go to, but we all know that they are enemies. So there's something called diplomacy. The way they do things these days, diplomatic. When you come to negotiate business, they will even when the Nigerian president went to India to the country, say, "Oh, okay, we want to present things to you, so we welcome you nice and everything." Even Tinubu, when he went to Google the video of Tinubu, hold on, allow me to talk now. I'm going somewhere. Just allow me. when he just went to China recently, the way the Chinese welcome him, it was even way more spectacular than the. That's why even the French have to make sure they do their own too. Because if first went to China, go just look how the Chinese welcome Tinubu. The red carpet, the way they sang, they had a band to sing the Nigerian national anthem for him. That was before he went to France. And the French saw that. They're like, wow, look, the Chinese company they might just keep the French company out of Nigeria very soon. So when he got there, the French had to bring their own singers.
Has it ever crossed your mind that the French were doing this to spite the Sahelian? Have it ever crossed your mind?
Let me just land. I'm just trying to just let me have my flow, man. Just calm down. I'm trying to lay out things you need to understand. When people
land your plane, bro.
People, I'm telling you from inside, because me myself, there are people actually that talk to Tinubu directly. They're telling me that Tinubu number one focus. There's economics he did earlier when he took over. He wants to make Nigeria economy $1 trillion economy by I can't remember the year. He has a plan. He has a plan later, economic plan later. Now, one of his key strategies is, let me learn now. His key strategy is to have companies from top countries, all these top countries, all competing against each other in Nigeria. That's the plan. He's put it together. He wants French company, Indian company, US company, Russian company, all of them competing against each other. So that way, if they are there to compete, then who gets to the power? It gives you, when you have more people bidding, more bidders for your contract, you get more power, more to say. But if you only have you only dealing with one side, don't deal with the other side, then one will just monopolize you, will just manipulating you. So that's the game he's trying to play. Invite investors from. You want to diverse investments, not from
people. A
one-sided
lot of Nigerians are being contradictory. You see the contradiction, or when you let them speak for 1 minute, you see the contradiction all over the place.
All you doing is going on YouTube. You see me, France. All of a sudden, oh, he's there for against me. Oh, he's there because he wants to.
Mike, you still don't get it.
Hold on.
Have you done? Because I would like to respond. Have you done?
You concluded that you went there to go dictate how to bomb your sponsor terrorism in your country, and you got to bring evidence. You can't say because someone is talking to someone.
When something happened against you, right? When something happened against you, right? The same type of things that happened to Niger has left them very sour. That's what I'm trying to tell my Nigerian brothers. They are sour. No. Let me finish. You say you want to land. I'll let you land. I was struggle. I'll let you land. I'll let you speak. Let me tell you something. I am close to these people. I know how they feel. Me from Burkina, I don't like certain things. Even though, let's say it was true, the way Chani went about making those claims, I would have appreciated if he doesn't say it, right? But I understand their position because you guys left them very sour. You see what I'm saying? And it feels like it is within his power. Let me finish. It feels like this is within his power to do what he has to do. The evidence that you are talking about, he's the president of the country. He's a military guy. He has his information. He shared that with the world. And you take that information and you do what you would like to do with it. You can say it's baseless. That's fine. If some people believe him, that's fine. At the same time, we are still neighbors. And I would like these two countries to get together because we will win more than fighting amongst each other. That's one point. The second point, when I hear Nigerians speak on one channel, they will say something. They will go on a different channel. They will start mumbling, jumbling, like this guy is sitting here talking like he thinks he can bring sense to me. When I tell you about your own country, terrorism, the killings that's happening in Nigeria is far greater than these three countries in the Sahel together. If you want to go toe-to-toes with me, you're going to have to put the receipt so we can see who's been killed in which country is Nigerian. But guess what? We don't say, you don't see, you don't know, hold on. Chill a little bit. Just go get some, go get some sodas. Afterdamus. Hold on. Let him go get some sodas. Let him go get some sodas. Hold on. Afterdamus, allow me to finish. You will never see Afterdamus, you will never see a Sahelian, right? Taking jive at Nigeria about anything. We respected Nigeria. When I came here, what did I say? I say, you know what? I come from a country where our president, the former president of my country, was used to destabilize the region in Africa, Sierra Leone,
So
Liberia.
that means you're not
So
accusing
we
our
know.
own country of being used to destabilize your place. And I'm asking for evidence. You can't give me concrete evidence. Am I
Okay,
supposed to
I
just
gave it to
accept
you,
that?
but since you being nationalistic, right? So you
No,
trying
it's
to
not
be
being nationalistic.
no. Listen,
I'm not.
I gave it to you.
Oh Lord.
Because you see, all I was even here trying to tell you how
All you're
we were
telling me is that
used.
you traveled
Hold
to
on.
France. You
All
went to
I was
France.
even telling you how we got used to destabilize Ivory
But we're
Coast,
not
right?
being used.
To get rid of the president of Ivory Coast, right? He was telling you he's Nigerian and he understand the tactics. We are here telling you about the tactics, but you still talking about evidence. And I told Afrodamus, if you had told Burkinabe, provide us evidence that Blaise Compaoré was involved in Liberia. No one has it.
Well,
Unless you were connected. No one has it. But it happened. People are talking. Sometimes it takes 10 years, 15 years for people to start saying things. Oh, wow, you remember when that happened, right? No, hold on. Let me finish. What I'm saying, right? What I'm saying. Allow the person that got punched in the face to react. Maybe Niger, right? Let's say within 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months, things will cool off. You see what I'm saying? But they are within their right to be scared, to feel like they needed to protect themselves based on the optics. If the optics is not looking great for them, they will react. You as Nigerian, you will look at it like, yeah, you know what? Bola Tinubu did a few things, that he shouldn't have done. We understand them, but it's not factual. But when you're trying to come here and tell us, tell us about the same thing. This guy here talking about the country. You said, let's not go backwards.
Sam James.
And I'm telling you, these people, when they topple the former president of Nigeria, they got rid of the French base, right? It tells you the people didn't want that there, right? So if you are a smart man, you shouldn't even bring in that in the conversation. You know the resentment that these people have against certain people in Africa. So when you bring in that there, you are trying to tell me Nigeria is the giant of Africa. These Sahelians are weak, brother. You can't win that conversation with me. I don't come from weak people. So no. Listen, I am showing the pattern here when people go to panels and they talk out of their mouth, like without no evidence. I'm telling you, the people of those countries, they don't want that there. They use a puppet to do that. So you should know better. But trying to use that as a narrative, like, oh, these people cause their own problems in their country. No, they did not.
All right, guys. Guys, let's do our closing statements here. It's been a great show, but let's do our closing statements. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. Sanjay, when you mentioned your president, Blaise Compaoré, was destabilizing, you told people that he's destabilizing Liberia or something like that. You are from Burkina Faso.
He was part.
He's doing his closing. Guys, let's make it
my closing, man. Allow me.
Yeah, don't interrupt him. Let him finish.
The thing is, it's more believable when you say, because you're from the country, you know your country, so you know your president and the situation, the atmosphere in your country to be. So it's more believable when you say. If someone else would have told me, I would say, I don't know. You're speaking from outside. I'm telling you that I'm the Nigerian. I'm there, and I'm telling you that it's not crystal clear to me that Tinubu is the one destabilizing your country. I'm telling you, but you are going by just image you see on visiting France, all that stuff. Yes, if I'm not from Nigeria, yeah, it will look like that to me too. Just like, it's like a book. You say a book with a book with a nice cover. You're like, oh, that book must be a good book, So of course, people like judging things based on face value and things like that. I get that, and I understand you. But I am telling you, as someone that's close to people in the government, I'm talking about intelligent community, telling me their own side, and I'm presenting to you. You see that you accept it or not, and that's why I have to tell you that the only way you can now convince me beyond what they've told me is to show me your own evidence, So that's it there. Now, regarding because it looks like your accusation is always that Nigeria left those countries stranded and things like that. They're supposed to be the ones leading, giving. The thing is, when those guys were planning the coup or whatever, they didn't involve them. They didn't involve Nigeria. So why? So what is this idea of they left you stranded? They didn't involve them. And the reality of the matter is, to really do all these things, as far as this anti-white man kick the white man out, all those things, these are something we have to really plan, calculate well, You know, it has to be done. Most of it has to be secretly. So Nigeria is not in a position to start siding, just saying that siding with these juntas. This junta, no one even know them. You can't make decision like that. We have investment and things. I mean, so our issue is just that you guys consistently come online and just throw this accusation,
Thank you,
which
Mike.
is unfounded.
How many times did you see people throw in
evidence and we can believe
accusations?
you.
How many times did you
Thank
see
you,
that?
Mike.
How many
Thank you,
times?
Mike.
Come on, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, St. James. Closing statement.
Alpha when we talk about evidence, right? You're a businessman, right? So you're in the you're in the service industry, right?
Right.
When you have an agreement with someone and you tell the person this is an agreement and the agreement is binding, right? And you go about doing something else. So the other person has the right to tell you, I'm not in business with you, right?
Right.
Because we have a binding agreement. So what these Nigerians don't understand, we have a binding agreement within ECOWAS. When you step away, you step aside from that binding agreement, yeah, somebody went rogue. Somebody went rogue on that. So the people, the countries within that ECOWAS that didn't agree, that didn't enforce this agreement, yes, the remaining country will see them as the traitors. So I don't know how many, if I have to speak Hausa or Yoruba or Igbo, I don't know what language I need to speak for so Mike can understand. These people are looking at it. We have a binding agreement, and you guys stepped away from it. That's one. That's one evidence. So how do you want me to call it? Something else? Give me a name in Yoruba so I can call it so everybody can go home and be happy. So what is that? And second of all, he's talking about we accusing Nigeria. What did I say? You see Burkina accusing Nigeria? You see Mali accusing Nigeria? It's because we are the AES together. So we have to back Nigeria. Like I said, on the outside looking in, I'm looking at it like Nigeria got punched in the mouth by Nigeria because the electricity got cut off. They closed the border. They didn't get the supplies they needed for the people at a specific time. Of course, it's going to leave people sour. When they're going to get better, we can hope and pray they get better very soon so we can go about doing our business together. That's what I hope. But you cannot be on the other side that inflicted the pain. Tell them, hey, get over it. Just doesn't work like that. So Russia accused the United States accused Russia, China accused the United States accused China, North Korea, everybody spy, everybody say things. It depends on which side you are. You can believe to agree or you can believe to disagree. That's what I told the Nigerian. You can disagree about what Chiani said, but on the Sahelian side, we're going to back up Chiani because we are together. So you can't get mad based on what I'm trying to tell you because this is human reaction. If I have an enemy and we are together, like in a group, ECOWAS, together, and we said the French are trying to do this to us. And you saying to us, oh, I have my personal business with France and I'm going to do my business. I've been doing it. I'm not mad at you. Would you agree that if I also tell you, can you keep my name out your mouth? Can you agree to that too? I think this is, come on, man. I want you to go. No, after that, please allow me. Allow me because now, 1 second, 2 more seconds, 2 more seconds. Because what I'm asking, it's simple. Burkina, you don't see us talking about those issues. Why? Because it doesn't affect us like that. Nigeria should do whatever work for Nigeria. When we bring Nigeria in, we bring Nigeria in because we are within ECOWAS, and the president of Nigeria is the head of ECOWAS now. Why did they give him a second? Because if you remember Alpha Damas, they give you one. The term is 1 year, right, or 2, whatever, 1 year, and then they rotate. Now, Bola Tinubu is going for the second leg. Why? Because I can say a lot of things, but you're closing. But I'm going to leave it at that.
Yeah, leave it at that. We can do it next time. Thank you. All right. That was St. James. Okay, Nigeria first.
It's always the white man. Never look in the mirror and hold yourself accountable. Always the white man. For example, Let me tell you why I was at peace when the president went to France. It was the people that went there with him. It was
Wait, are you saying the
Nigeria.
white man didn't do it?
It was the man didn't do it.
Right.
It was the Nigeria business leaders that was there. The Dangote, the owner of BUA, the bank's leaders. They were the one that gone to France with the president. So I didn't see anything wrong. So we need to look our back and be looking. Oh, with this offend Niger? Come on, man, St. James. We should be looking at Niger to make a decision. The only country I will boldly defend when if Nigeria want to do anything bad against it's even Chad, not even Niger. Because when at the height of Boko Haram, it was Chad. Even their president was at the war front fighting this terrorism. We didn't hear anything from Niger. We don't even know if they exist. They didn't say anything. They didn't give us any support. Most of the time, Niger military is pursuing Boko Haram. They will run to Niger. They will seek refuge there. The military over there, they didn't do anything to push them back so that we destroy them together. You understand me? All these leaders are just doing to protect their power. They have taken over instead of them to lay out plan on how to conduct election and allow the people actually decide their leaders. They want to use propaganda and fake news to hold on to power. Let them deal with eternal issue in their country. That's nothing to do with Nigeria or France. Deal with your personal issue in your country. Settle some of the people. Improve the economy. People will not complain. They should focus on that.
Well,
Have you seen Afrodomus? Let me say this before I go.
Yeah.
Please go on Twitter. Whenever this so-called the Burkina Faso leader posts message on his platform, go and read some of this message. Many people in Burkina Faso are not happy in what is going on ground, the poverty and the hunger there. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll check it out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the show. As you guys know, it's the usual Afrodamus report. You know, the panel gets hot, cold, back and forth, but as you know, people have to exchange their ideas. So, you know, you heard the conversation and, you know, you can make up your mind, you know, whether Nigeria is selling out or not. And also the elections in Mozambique, hopefully they bring peace comes there. So I will try to continue to cover, you know, the progress on, you know, both regions. I mean, African geopolitics seems to be super messy for whatever reason. So as you follow it, I mean, you just go through this deep dark tunnel where you don't know who is with who. So that's Africa for you. Until next time, I will see you guys. All right.
Lend thy ears to the Afridamus. Pay attention to the Afridamus. The true Saninke warrior. Naturalist his intelligence. As a true professor. Solution to brainwash diseases. Sit back, relax, and hear the wisdom. Afridamus will heal your minds. Sit back, reflect, you'll find no objection. Afridamus will clear your doubts here. Always log on to the Afridamus. Lend thy ears to the Afridamus. Is the truth and no doubt the Saninke warrior.